best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City sports talk radio show. We're not the Quad City sports talk radio show. We are your Quad City sports talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
It's a manic Monday here in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Done Right Satellite and Dish. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, a local here on ESPN 93.5. T-Roy's back. We got Nick Toffanelli subbing in for the Stat Cat.
Big paws to fill, gents.
Totally big paws to fill. We got Lord of the Board is over on the side. Marv. Big Marv's running the board today.
Marv Tender. We all got jobs here to do.
Yeah, Marv Tender. This is great stuff, man.
Everybody's involved.
It's good to be back, Quad Cities. I missed you.
Well, Marvin, why don't you swing that microphone over by you till we get to the guests come? Over by you. Come on. Get to chime in.
You got to turn it on, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I turn it on?
There you go.
It's on.
It's a beautiful day out in the Quad Cities today.
Beautiful day.
It will be for a while. You know, I know I throw it around a lot, but the person who taught me the April showers joke is to my left. So
Nick,
right?
What's that?
April showers bring May flowers, right?
You
taught me
you
that.
never heard that joke?
No. I remember exactly where I was when you told me that joke. I thought I was going to pee my pants.
What do Mayflowers bring?
Pilgrims.
You didn't go to elementary school?
No,
You've never heard that before?
I had never heard that.
What?
I've never heard that before.
I didn't hear it till Jay told me.
Yeah, it's the best. I look forward to this. I look forward to it every year.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. It's a great joke.
Can I tell you one of mine, Nick?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it's one of Ray's, but it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I went to the doctor and he asked me if I wear boxers or briefs.
And
I told him depends.
yes,
Get it.
I get it because you're old now.
Yes.
Gents, what a big weekend!
Yeah.
It surely was.
Oh man,
It was good.
Jay and I had a fun. Starting Thursday. Well, and we all had fun on Thursday. We went to Avengers Endgame. We won't give anything away.
Avengers Endgame Thursday.
Jay and I,
Oscars open Friday out at the Betplex.
we had a fundraiser
Had
for
Tips for Tat
Tad.
Saturday,
We have to talk about that.
and then Game of Thrones Sunday.
Yeah.
And guys, and all I ask today is no spoilers on the NFL draft, guys. I have it DVR'd. I haven't watched any of it. So when I get home, I'm gonna bang through that. So no spoilers on the NFL draft.
All 14 hours and 14 minutes.
Oh, buddy.
You're just gonna binge watch the
I
NFL draft.
was
hold
busy
on.
all weekend.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if I told you, I'm going to give you two names. I want you to associate where these two names should be.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, Joe Jackson.
Gary, Indiana.
That's where they should be. Yeah.
It should be, but I'm just saying, wouldn't you think that's like a 1980s MTV music videos going on? You got Steppin'
Pepsi
Out,
commercial.
Joe Jackson. You got
That's a
Michael
good
Jackson, Beat It.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, those two guys were drafted by the Cowboys.
Look at you.
Back to back.
Is that they're not related?
They're not related, but they went to the same college.
Well,
So,
see, you spoiled the NFL draft.
Well, it's not
sorry.
that big of a
Not
spoiler.
really. They were 6 rounders, so you're
6 rounds, like the best round, man.
all right. But you're not a Cowboy fan. So
That's
it
where
doesn't
Tom
matter.
Brady was at, right?
That's true.
And 6 quarterbacks went before him.
Well, anyway, let's big round of applause to everybody that helped out with Tips for Tat at Pines this weekend.
Yeah, so out of Pints, we had our annual benefit for melanoma research at the University of Iowa hospitals. We had Chris Agnew in studio last week, and we talked about how much money we'd like to raise, and this is $48,000 were raised on Saturday for melanoma research. 100% of all this is going to the University of Iowa. I know Chris pointed this out. Everybody that puts their time into this, it's all volunteer. So everything.
It's still
raised,
not too late to give.
No.
If I was talking to some of the people there that were helping out, they do like still get checks, like throughout the year even. But yeah, so if you wanted to give, you hadn't had a chance, just get a hold of them. I'm sure they'll make it real easy for you to help out.
Like I said, it's just incredible the amount of donations that we get from people in the Quad Cities, and to raise $48,000 in that, and to think like 8 years ago when I mean, it was just a few $1,000s when we did it the first year.
Right.
And that was just something we started after Tad had passed away. And we thought, what better way to do it than take one of our favorite customers and raise just a few dollars in his name. And what the Tips for Tad Foundation has done from there has been fantastic. So hats off to everybody there. Nick did a good job emceeing the event and running the live auction.
He might be the best MC in the Quad
He
Cities.
is.
Oh, ladies.
No, I am telling you right now. He had some of the best one-liners going on.
Yeah, he's on top.
There was a bunch of stuff going on. He goes, "All right, now back to your money. We need it."
Yeah,
it was it had me dying in the corner. It was good stuff. So.
Yeah, all kinds of things given away, and it's like I said, it's humbling and it's great, and hats off to the people at the Tips for Tad. Yeah, and there was a lot going on this weekend. The NBA playoffs is getting to be. I know we talked about this before and said kind of looking towards the conference finals, but I think this is a huge round, and the only difference is I turned off the Celtics Bucks game when Celtics were up by 25 points. So kind of time. Yeah,
not great.
Right. Not good at home, huh? You don't want to do that.
Oh, the key is bounce back and win the next one, right?
Is it? T-Roy, look at that.
Gotta play one day at a time, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a good showing by them at all. Celtics 112 over the Bucks. They had 90. And Golden State holds off Houston Rockets 104 to 100. That was all. That was the KD
what do
show.
the Rockets think? I mean, they can be as scrappy as they want. I'm telling you right now. Harden complaining about the no calls. He's throwing his feet into the defender.
That's what they do.
No. I mean, Clay was not giving him landing space, and the refs came out and said they missed a bunch of calls in the first half.
Draymond gave him his landing space. He threw his feet into Draymond's the one I'm referring to.
Like first half, it happened like 5-6 times. They only called one foul on it. He's got a legitimate gripe there. But yeah, that series is going to be real chippy. It's just going to be that.
Well, those two teams have been chippy for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. But I don't know. I guess maybe I just don't like Houston.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't so much either, but
And that's not to say that I like Golden State, but I don't know. Something about Houston I don't like.
Is it because you're a Dallas fan?
No, I'm really not. Bulls fan.
back to Milwaukee.
No, I'm like just the Cowboys thing.
Oh,
Is
no.
it some kind of runoff from that?
No.
Like, why don't you like Houston? It doesn't make any sense.
No, I just don't like. I don't like
The
Harden.
underdog. You don't like Golden State.
I don't like Chris Paul.
Why do they like Chris Paul?
No heart.
No heart. I'm with Jay.
Should have played in that game last year.
I think so. Too.
Come on,
Yes.
come on, guys. You're saying
In
that
the game 7, he should have played. Yes, to get him to the. Yes.
if he wasn't able to play, he wasn't able to play. Like I think
Willis
you would
Reed
know.
stood so tall, played D with his eye. That's basketball.
I mean, you're talking about Willis
Paul
Reed.
Pierce
like,
came back.
You don't know the extent of Chris Paul's injuries.
It looked.
Maybe
Is
we
he
don't.
not a Hall of Famer professional? Don't you think?
CP?
Don't you think he can kind of make the call on whether or not he would be able to contribute in a game like that?
Is he,
really
is
gonna
he,
second
you
guess
say
him.
he's a Hall of Famer?
He's without question a Hall of Famer.
He is. I'm Nick's right.
He's
but
one of the
that
5 best
doesn't mean
point
I
guards in the
gotta
history of
like
the NBA.
In the history?
Yes, he's great. Like his career numbers are unbelievable.
He doesn't.
And you could say he hasn't won
He
anything
makes
in
it.
the
To,
playoffs.
he makes it to playoffs every year. I mean, a lot of teams make it to playoffs.
He is unquestionably a Hall of Famer.
Everyone gets in the Hall of Fame in the NBA.
That is so not true.
Everyone does. Tex Winter got in.
it. Well,
Tex Winter.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Luke
For-
Longley didn't.
Luke Longley did not.
See?
There's
'Cause
one
he's
guy who's not in the NBA Hall of Fame.
He's not from, are you sure he's not in? Are you sure they haven't put in that Bull team? That Bulls
Big
team?
Daddy Marvin Gaye's not in.
Yeah.
He did have a jumper back in the day, I heard.
Oh yeah, wicked.
He looked like Spud Webb, more like a Spud.
I mean,
Bud.
you're on my computer, StatCat
Yeah.
Subcat. You can you
Subcat.
can go to Basketball Reference when we go to break, and we can look at CP3's numbers. But let's 17 points, 4 assists. That's what he did in that game. 4 assists.
What? Yes.
Yeah, it's Chris Paul.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna judge him by one game in the opening
I'm just looking
game
at
1
this.
of the playoffs.
Well, it's a pretty important game.
It is a pretty important game.
Yeah.
They lost, right?
Yes.
He didn't necessarily play well. Does this mean he's just terrible at basketball?
Did I say he's terrible? I'm
Wait.
not, you're putting a Hall of Famer on him. I'm not. I'm just saying that he's not. I mean, he should have played Game 7 last year.
That is,
he had a-
that's like a really easy thing to say.
Okay.
Why didn't Carson Wentz play in the playoffs for the Eagles?
I don't know. I think he should have. Yeah. Well, Nick Foles,
if he
Nick
really
Foles could put
cared,
together 4 better games than him.
if he really had the
In a row.
heart and really was a competitor, you don't
Maybe
know.
he
You don't
knows.
know well, maybe Chris Paul knows
Maybe that his backup's better than him.
that he was not able to actually contribute.
He was out a lot this season too. He's hurt.
He's old.
You're old.
Yes. I peaked a long time ago. I can admit that.
I wish I was as old as you two.
Anyway, the Milwaukee lost by 22 points last night. It's their worst loss of the season. Just the 6th time they've lost
Hold
by
on a
double
second.
digits.
Marvin, you better push the panic button.
Way.
Milwaukee lost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it's not just that they
But
lost.
the 4 out of 6 times they've lost by double digits have all been at home. So it's how bad they lost. But
Yeah.
now it's a matter of it's not is it the panic button or is it that the professor and now Kyrie Irving, now they know how to work together with their all and get all the mouths fed that wants the ball in Boston.
Well, it certainly seemed like they figured him out, right? Like you swarm Giannis when he gets in the paint, and you let anyone else on Milwaukee beat him. And Milwaukee is one of these young teams, and this happens in the NBA. Are they ready to really win a big series? Is somebody else going to step up? Is it Middleton? Like who's it going to be?
I mean, but this is going to take the Milwaukee coach looking at tape, him making an adjustment. Hopefully, if you're a Milwaukee fan, I don't know. I at the beginning of the year I'd pick Boston. So I mean, yeah, but you'll hear 3 weeks ago we were all saying it's probably just going to be Milwaukee, but.
You're not going to be shocked if Milwaukee loses this series.
No,
absolutely.
No, not at all.
Because you actually think and just like Nick, to your point, like you said, Milwaukee, they've got to learn to be the number 1 seed. They've got to learn to win these games. You actually want to see or expect to see the 76ers be that team that's making the next
who makes
step.
the jump, right?
Yeah, and it's not looking like they're doing that either.
Toronto's really good too.
They are.
Well, Kawhi's playing.
And that series is probably going to go 6 or 7.
Well, Kawhi's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Oh, jeez. Nick.
they're all Hall of Famers now.
he should have played in all those games for the Spurs last
He
year.
should've.
Lord.
If he really cared.
He doesn't. He's not.
He should totally risk his entire career.
Not high on my list. I can tell you that much.
Marvin, these two.
Kevin Durant's really good. He's a Hall of Famer.
Kevin Durant's
Just gonna
really
keep going.
good.
You keep going down all the list of all the guys that are really good Hall of Famers. Anyway,
Well, he's no Joe Jackson.
no, tonight you got 76ers at the Raptors. That'll be at 7:00 on TNT. Trailblazers at the Nuggets. That'll be at 9:30 on TNT. Raptors are up 1-0. Nuggets and Trailblazers. This is their first game in the series. And tomorrow we'll have Golden
Who do
State
you
at
think
Houston.
in that series, Nick? Trailblazers, Nuggets.
I think the Nuggets get it done. I don't think the Nuggets are a real contender right now.
You do?
Like, I think of all the series we got left, this is the one where nobody's taking either of these teams seriously, right?
That's true.
Right. I'm leaning towards Blazers.
I mean, it wouldn't completely shock me. Denver certainly has their problems. They're not unbeatable.
Right.
The Spurs, who are kind of broken down at this point, took them to 7. Jokic is really good, but he doesn't. Then their defense isn't great.
Right.
They don't really have a secondary scorer, kind of like a facilitator, I suppose. Denver can be had.
Blazers beat Utah, correct? The Jazz.
Yes. No.
No,
The Blazers beat Oklahoma City.
Yeah, they beat OKC.
Who beat Utah?
Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. Blazers beating OKC. I mean, that was a chippy series too.
No, that was a big win for them and a big win for their franchise.
I really like that Donovan Mitchell kid from Utah. For him not to be in the playoffs now, out already. But you
That's
said
a
they
really
lost
young
to
guy, and that's a
Houston.
really young
Yeah.
team. Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna take their lumps, especially in the Western Conference. Like it's tough. I mean, look at all the talent the Timberwolves had. They weren't even in the top 10 in the Western Conference. I mean, they finished.
Longville, he was in tears when we were talking to him practically.
Based on 1,000 simulations, the remainder of the playoffs,
1,000.
Portland has a 55% chance to win this round, to Denver's 45% chance. So, based on simulations,
They got the
Portland.
Blazers.
Yeah.
Wow.
They got the Blazers win that, yeah. Milwaukee's still the favorite, even though they're down. Golden State is the favorite. Toronto's the favorite to win their series as well. So, what are you looking at? Just tell me what you're looking at
We're
here.
looking at basketballreference.com. Chris Paul similarity scores. These are players with career of similar quality and shape through 2018. Here's some names on
Your
the list
win
with
shares,
Chris Paul.
that's what you're looking at.
Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, John Stockton, Kobe Bryant, Reggie Miller, Gary Payton, Walt Frazier,
numbers
Clyde
are not better than
Drexler,
Oscar
Michael
Robinson's.
Jordan.
numbers
Those
are
are
not
the
better-
guys on the list with Chris Paul.
His number's not better than Oscar Robinson's.
These are the comps. These are the
This
career
is your
comps,
win
Jay.
shares. That's what you're looking at.
These are similarity scores. These are the guys who his
at
career is most relative
Let's
to.
look at his career. Come on. Look at his career.
Chris Paul is without question a Hall of Famer. Yes or no?
Don't bring Randazzo. Don't just bring him into this without introducing Randazzo here. Let's see what he's led the league in. Assist percentage? Whoa. Get out of here. And he hasn't led the league in anything in 5 years.
He's old now, man, and he's playing.
Obviously, he can't even play in the playoffs.
Jordan hasn't led the league in anything in a while either.
It's true.
He's probably still pretty good.
Is Jordan playing right now?
I'm just kidding.
He didn't play in the playoffs last year.
No, he's feisty.
He's very feisty.
No,
dude.
Chris Paul's an.
But does
Chris
it
Paul
always
is
go
an
back to Jordan?
He is an overrated Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes,
just
because
not
they're
in
all
that-
Hall of Famers, Randazzo.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not in the list of the what you were just saying. But he's still a Hall of Famer.
You're in Pat Anger's Game of Pig is going to end up in the Hall of Fame as much as everyone
It
talks
is.
about it on social media.
It is. It
It's
is.
going to be
Why
highlighted on
shouldn't
this.
it? I don't
I'd like to
know.
welcome Matt Randazzo
The game
in the
that never
studio.
happened.
I don't think we've seen him since March.
I know.
WQAD keeps him too busy.
I was uninvited last week.
No, you had the kids, and I
I'm
said,
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What am I supposed to do? The 1 day, 1 of 2 days in the last 8 weeks that it's been 70 degrees, and you're like, hey, kids have day off.
He
I'm like,
had all
no,
kinds
enjoy
of
the
signing
day,
days
man.
to
You're
cover.
great. You're
I watched the
You're
other
great.
night, man. You had every signing day.
I'm
thing
all
going
over
on.
it.
I know.
We're all over it. Jay is fired up today. I like it. Happy
Nick.
Monday.
Nick gets me fired up. Everyone knows that. It can't.
That's why I'm here, baby.
Yeah.
Nick's our resident antagonist. I love him.
Yeah. It's, in the end, we all know Nick's a straw that stirs
I
the
didn't
drinker.
think I'd walk into a Chris Paul debate.
Oh, I
but
can't stand it.
no, I think he's extremely
We
overrated.
were going
but
to
he's
throw
still probably
cans
Hall of
at you
Famer.
for drafting our tight end at 8.
Well,
He got his Lions gear on today. Look at it.
let's take our first break, and then we get to talk to Randazzo about his newest tight end for his Detroit Lions.
You betcha. Super
And-
Bowl, baby.
Oh my god!
and everything else that we've missed out talking to Randazzo in a while. So let's take our first break.
All right, Quad Cityans, you need to stop going to your
Oh,
social
man.
media sites asking everybody where you're going to get your oil changed, who does the best tattoo work, where you're going to grab some lunch. Just pick up your Locals Love Guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find what you're looking for. Or you can go to the website, localsloveus.com, click on Quad Cities, and then browse the favorites. They even rank the most popular places for you. So make sure you check them out. When you're on there, vote for our show. Don't hassle so local as your favorite, and vote for our sponsors as well.
And me.
Yeah, and vote for Randazzo.
Of course.
Localsloveus.com, your guide to the best.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local on ESPN 93.5.
Catch every swing, double play, and home run at the Quad Cities Home for Sports. Bricks, Tap, and Davenport. Don't miss a single inning on their 23 TVs. Enjoy the best daily food and drink specials in town. Throwback $2 domestic tall boys, $3 cooler shots, $4 burger baskets, and raffles during every live Cubs broadcast. Bricks is your place to be for every game. Come for the game and stay for the fun. With live music, DJs, and karaoke. Bricks Tap. Good people and good beer. Served properly. West 3rd Street, Davenport.
In a world where dreams are built from the ground up, Tailored Living makes room for your vision. Imagine his and her walk-in closets in the master bedroom.
Oh, my dream come true. I could just kiss you. Mwah!
Sweet. Your home, your dream.
Tailored Living Custom Closet or Organization System will take you from clutter and chaos to control. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com, and together you and I will build the closet of your dreams.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the ninth. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $200 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher and compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Limited time offer. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. They work, live, and give back to the Quad Cities.
I'm Chantel from Davenport, and I just won a free roof from All Major Restorations.
If you missed our last free roof giveaway, another one is coming soon. And when storm damage hits, let All Major Restorations help you. They make the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Storm damage estimates are always free. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities. Go to amrestorations.com.
Now that my dad works for Winger Truck Line, I get to see him on weekends. And the best part, he gets to go to my baseball games and even helps out with coaching my team. Winger has helped me become a happier kid and made my dad a cool truck driver.
This is Eric at Winger Truck Line, where flexible home time really means something. Now hiring part-time, home daily, and regional home weekends. Call me today at Winger Truck Line, 800-593-6433, or visit drivewtl.com.
Cubs and Bears and local talk. You found it. Your home of the only local sports talk show in the Quad Cities. Don't hassle us. We're local. Noon to 2 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
And we are back in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunrice Satellite and Dish. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, local here on ESPN 93.5. We are live in studio from WQA's own Matt Randazzo. What was that noise I just heard?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
It's all right, Randazzo. I'm already getting some chiming on the Facebook. Who's got more fantasy value this year, Fant or your boy?
My boy, right?
No.
Fantasy value is different than like team value.
Correct.
Yes.
I still think Hawkinson.
Really?
I really do. But I think they both have really good. I'm trying to think of the other one. I've only thought of mine. But I think with Flacco and Denver, they're going to use him.
Yes.
So I really think they both do really well.
Who's done better with tight ends, Flacco or Stafford? Who made Dennis Pitta fantasy relevant?
I don't think
was Dennis Pitta ever really fantasy relevant.
You drafted him.
Everyone drafted him.
Okay.
He's one of those guys everyone's had.
Whoa.
Yeah,
he's the D'Angelo Williams.
He's no Debbie Does Dallas. Slow it down, dude.
He's a pincushion.
The false narrative that Stafford doesn't do well with tight ends is kind of silly. Eric Ebron and Pettigrew both caught 80 passes in a season with Matthew Stafford. It's not like, and they did have like Calvin Johnson and a bunch of other really good receivers. It's not like
it's just the touchdowns didn't go their way.
In Baltimore, they didn't have the stud receivers because they ran a tight end set. It's a different offense in Detroit. I mean, that offense is, guess what? The Patriots offense is what they want to run, and that's when you have the two tight ends and you block a lot. They love Hawkinson for his blocking ability. Gronk did that well. I'm not comparing Gronk to Hawkinson.
No, I feel like he just did. I feel like if he doesn't at least become the greatest tight end ever,
I think
it's a total
Hawkinson's
bust.
better, so I don't want to compare the two because I think obviously Hawkinson's better than Gronk, right?
Of course. That makes sense.
So, I mean, I just think fantasy numbers wise, maybe Fant, but I think Hawkinson's going to do really well.
I mean, what, Kittle's win the second round, third round?
Third. I think it was later than that.
So Hawkinson's going to be like 3 times better than him, right?
Well, obviously.
He's going to go for like 3,500 yards receiving.
Here's the thing is like the Detroit faithful, the Lions fan base hates, I would say over half hate the pick. But it's the Eric Ebron, Pettigrew. I mean, it's kind of almost, last time they drafted Ebron, they did it over Aaron Donald. And Donald is now the best defensive player in football. Khalil Mack, whatever, if you want to argue it or whatever. Now you're looking at the same thing. Ed Oliver was the guy on the board, kind of compared to the same Aaron Donald. I don't think he's Aaron Donald. I don't think there's too many Aaron Donalds out there. So but you can't not draft a position because you messed up a long time ago. It's funny because Lions fans should know that because they drafted three wide receivers and then finally drafted Calvin Johnson. So if they would have quit, they would have never gotten Calvin. So it was their biggest need. The Lions tight end. I really don't want to talk Lions football the whole time because nobody cares, do they?
It's NFC.
It's also Hawkinson. Yeah. But their biggest need left was their tight ends. Can you name a Lions tight end from last year? Oh wait.
Yeah, he's on to something here.
I can't. I mean, I can because I watched all the misery. But
who was it?
I mean, Michael Roberts was a 4th rounder from Toledo 2 years ago. Probably caught 12 passes. Then Tuileilua, whatever. He was a guy that used to play for the Falcons as a blocking tight end. And then the other one was supposed to be good. He had 13 catches. Was not good, but was supposed to be the replacement. He was out of Seattle. And see, and I'm a huge Lions fan.
Wilson.
Wilson. That was it. I mean, that was their biggest need coming into the draft. They got
Luke
Jesse
Wilson
James
with 2 L's.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
They signed Jesse James, but I mean he's the best. I mean, and the scouts are saying he's the best tight end.
They're going to go. It's Jesse James, Hawkinson. Try to run a 2 tight end set.
I don't know if they do. I mean, no, not that.
I bet they do. But why wouldn't
they'll want to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. They'll want to do a lot of what the Patriots did. They're going to want to move Hawkinson. They'll put Hawkinson as they'll split him out. They'll put him to block because he's a very good blocker. They'll put him in the backfield. They're going to do a whole bunch of different things with T.J. Hawkinson. And the Lions last year, they lost Marvin Jones to injury, traded Golden Tate, lost the running back Kerryon Johnson. They didn't have Ebron because they cut him silly before the season. They had Kenny Galladay.
Galladay's good.
That was it. That was it. So their biggest problem last year, people thought the defense was really bad. It got better throughout the year under Patricia, which it should better. That's what he's supposed to do. But it was the fact they didn't have their offense was terrible. And Stafford had a bad year, but it goes back to you don't really have anybody to throw the football to. So hopefully if you get some of these parts back, for me, not for the rest of the people listening, but hopefully for me, you get some of these guys back and you add Marvin Jones back and Kerryon Johnson, then you got Hawkinson, and then you're starting to rock and roll again. But
if everything goes right, you guys should be solid for 4th place in the NFC North.
I'm thinking probably 3rd. I'm hoping 3rd is what I'm thinking.
Would you edge out the Packers?
Yeah, because they were so bad for so many years when they had everybody healthy. Wait, no, they actually won 9-10 games every year, but.
What did they do for their pass protection for their line though?
That's a great point. And they lost their best pass protector. He wasn't there a lot last year, but TJ Lang, former Packer, retired and he was out or hurt a lot last year. They have a hole at guard. I mean, Stafford got sacked 40 times last year. That's a lot. And I know there's Stafford haters out there and maybe in this room, but when he's upright and he's pretty good, and he was on his back a lot last year.
He's good friends with Clayton Kershaw though.
I've heard that. Did they go to high school? Maybe
that was then their high school baseball team. Kershaw
it's the best.
Was the ace, and Matt Stafford was like the second pitcher.
It's the best. I look forward to that every Thanksgiving when they're up in the suite. Oh, look who that is!
Well, not even
Thanksgiving. I want an interview. I want an interview with the 3rd best athlete in that high school. Yeah. He's just the saltiest dude. Like he just hates everyone. He's like, I would have been a star anywhere.
It's all October too during Clayton's couple starts. Yeah. So I mean. I'm cautiously optimistic as a Lions fan, but nobody wants to talk. How about David Montgomery for the Bears?
Yes.
Run DMC. I mean, honestly, it's a fantastic pick. I thought he was one of those guys that is a steal in the 3rd or 4th round. And so Ryan Pace is that guy who, when he wants something, he goes out and he gets it. They gave up a lot for him. Mm-hmm. They gave up 2 picks to pick next year. I heard he goes
Eastern Illinois. Him and my wife.
Who?
Ryan Pace.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Montgomery.
So did I.
I was like, what in the world?
No,
I thought you were
Pace. All the smart people went to EIU.
And Tony Romo went there.
Tony Romo, Sean Payton. I'm just saying, all the smart people.
So I mean, it's a good pick, and they need to work on their running game, and that's obviously one of the.
And don't forget Jay Kellenberger too. He went to EIU.
Why are you the biggest EIU guy?
Anything else? Anybody else?
I just figured it out.
So who are the ones?
Did you just figure out Google today?
Did. Or his daughter did.
The smartest people in the world: Tony Romo, Sean Payton,
Jake Hallenberg,
and my wife. Troy's wife.
Sick.
Makes perfect sense. I hope that's a trivia question at a trivia night some night. I'll be like, I got it.
Where did Troy's wife go to college?
And T-Roy's wife. Those are the 3. So
Montgomery is a good pick.
And they gave up a lot to get him, but that's one of the needs that they have. And Ryan Pace is that way. If he has a guy that he wants, and I mean, they sold the farm for Khalil Mack. That was the best. Twitter was great on Thursday night because it was constantly a Bears fan going, best pick in the draft is Khalil Mack. Best pick in the draft is Khalil Mack. And they're right. I mean, they didn't pick for 3 days, and they sat back and smiled because every time they thought, why aren't we picking yet? They were like, oh, yeah, that's right. We got
my Amari Cooper pick was great the first round. I'll take that all day.
Who they pick with that? You got that's right.
We
you
got
him. Who did Oakland pick?
Oakland took the kid from running back from
Jacobs.
Justin Jacobs.
Yeah,
Justin
from,
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
And I liked Riley Ridley as their wide receiver for the Bears.
Yeah.
Not the fastest guy, but runs good routes. They took 2 cornerbacks, and then they took another running back who actually they think, even though with Tariq Cohen, probably will be their return man. So he was actually more of a backup at Florida Atlantic University.
Randazzo, Facebook thoughts coming in. What do you think on DK Metcalf slipping the last pick in the second round? Also, Marvin, say Wild Dog.
He said no.
DK Metcalf ends up going to the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks?
I can't talk.
No, there was a time after the combine that they were talking about him. I don't know if they were or just dumb Lions fans were, because he's 6'3.5", and he ran a ridiculous time, and I was surprised he went all the way down to the second round. But that's the Seahawks he picked, though. Like, that's what you look at him and he's there, and it's the second round. You're like, of course the Seahawks got him. Like, but that's what they do.
Doug Baldwin will run the routes, and they're just going to send that guy in the fly.
No, Doug Baldwin might be done. Did you guys see that over the weekend?
No.
Injuries. He might not ever play an NFL game again.
Who?
Doug Baldwin.
Oh, yeah, I did read that yesterday, yeah.
I don't know if it's... I mean, that's what they're reporting. You know the media, though. They're kind of...
Well, I mean, the rest of the media isn't the Quad City media, so we got to...
No, I mean, us. We're back. No, I'm just kidding. The Hawkeyes that went were... And then this day 2, Hooker and Nelson both go in the 4th round. Congrats to Jake Gervais. He's going to get a shot with the Oakland Raiders. He signed to go for a tryout to go to a mini camp out in Oakland. So it's such a good dude, and it's kind of fitting because that's the way his whole career's been. I mean, he signed as a walk-on with Iowa and worked his ass off and got to where he was and where he needed to be, and he's going to do the exact same.
The Iowa linebacker too is going to be on practice or
you signed with the Lions.
Parker Hesse. He's got two different ones. It's weird. He goes
the other Nelson
1 week. Matt Nelson.
Yeah, signed with the Lions.
They're going to move him to tackle, to offensive tackle.
Really?
Hey, 6'8", 295 already. And they're going to move him inside. They're going to move him out to the offensive tackle.
Huh?
Where did Hesse? I thought Hesse went Broncos.
Hesse. He's got
Chiefs.
2 different ones: Chiefs and Lions.
That's
so
right.
1 week he's going to the Chiefs camp, and then the next week he's going to the Lions camp. That's what I thought I read. Man, we're going to dominate the NFC North with a bunch of Hawkeyes. It was fun because my son's obviously a big Lions fan and then an Iowa fan, and they made the pick, and he called me up and he's like, "Dad, it happened. Are you watching this?" I'm like, "Yeah, buddy." And he goes, "I got my Lions hat on. I got an Iowa shirt on. It was meant to be." I was like, "Yeah, buddy, well, I got to get back to work, but good job." So then he woke me up in the morning. He's like, "Dad, can I get a Hawkinson jersey?" First thing out of his mouth. I'm like, "But buddy, we just got you a Stafford one that's you got to grow into. It's kind of big." He's like, "But Dad." And I said, "Well, we'll talk about it."
Yeah,
we'll probably
come on, Dad.
Yeah, we'll probably do it.
Yeah,
do it.
So yeah, Get
that moldy money out.
But yeah, with Gervais, exactly. With Gervais, he's super good dude, works really hard. He reminds me a lot of Brett Greenwood, who was on his way to, he was one of the last cuts Brett was before he had his accident with the Steelers. And I think if he would have gotten another chance, he would eventually worked his way through. So he's going to get to somebody's camp. He's going to impress the heck out of them, and he's going to make some team somehow, some practice squad somewhere. Just too hardworking of a dude. And actually, his numbers at the Iowa day were really good. Ran a 4.40. He did fantastic. So, best luck to him.
Really like Hooker Amani Hooker for the Titans. I was hoping that the Bears would find a way to get him on there. But
I was hoping the Dallas was too.
Versatile dude.
Yeah,
that's the thing is he can go outside and cover. He can play a safety position, and we watched him at Iowa play basically a linebacker position for half the season as well. So just a versatile guy that they'll find. That defense is going to find great ways to use him. All the NFL defenses, there's a lot smarter. So.
Well, and they really liked him. He had a great visit, and they traded 2 picks to trade up to get him in the round when they got him in the 4th round. Did you think at all that the Lions were going to trade down?
Yeah, And so the general manager at our station, Jim Kaiser, my big boss, he basically owns me. He's a big Lions fan. He's a big Lions fan.
Oh, really?
And so
That's how he got it.
That's no job retention. There's only one in the Quad Cities, so that's job retention right there.
I'm going to be a Lions.
Yeah. That is the only way they're keeping me. So, I didn't even like the Lions, so he started. But no, so and then he did. That's I think they got offers to trade down. But I think it was kind of like with the Broncos moving up to 10. They would have had to move down to 20. I don't think they wanted to move down that far. I think they really liked TJ Hawkinson. And I don't think he was getting past Buffalo with the next pick. I really don't. And if they got down to 10, I don't think it was going to get past 10 either. So I think it was one of those things. I mean, a lot of people had Hawkinson going 7. I really think the Jaguars take Hawkinson at 7 if Josh Allen doesn't fall on their lap.
Yeah.
And don't think I wasn't salivating as a Lions fan as that guy kept dropping. I'm like, no way. So thank you to the Giants for being Giantsy and the Raiders.
That's my next thing. Like,
we can
really,
talk about that.
Like there was somebody, and I don't even know who it was. One of the followers of the show, or maybe one of the followers just kind of retweeted it, and because I think they retweeted it and said something, but some guy's on there. Why is everybody pounding the Giants for this pick?
No, I can tell you that was. It was on Facebook. I showed you that. Yeah.
All right, somebody was saying, why are they pounding the Giants for this pick? And I'm like, because he was the quarterback at Duke.
Because he was a walk-on quarterback at Duke.
I'm like, guys, come on, man. This is not a first 10 pick. This is not. I'm sorry. I think it's... And I'm happy for the kid.
Well, it's one of those... He could work out fine. It's just the fact that you could have taken him at 17 and been fine. You could have taken him in the second round and probably been fine.
Well, then for the GM to come out the next day and say, like, oh, he could sit for 3 years behind Eli.
I don't know what Eli... I mean...
Well, yeah, what are they going to give Eli? Someone find the cup of God and they're going to let him drink from it?
I don't understand. Eli was done. I mean, I don't know how Eli and the Giants, and this isn't to troll or back, I don't know how the heck they beat the Bears. Like, I still don't know how that team scored 30 points on the Bears last season, because he was terrible all last year.
You know why? Because the Bears went in thinking that they were going to destroy him.
Maybe it was, but I mean, like,
totally is. It was a letdown game.
I mean, that's the best defense in football against one of the worst quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, I think he starts. Daniel Jones will play this year. If he doesn't, good news for Alex Taney, the former Monmouth quarterback, because that's the other guy in the room down there. So, because he was their backup and he just signed. So, I mean, there's no way that Eli Manning makes it through a year. I think the interesting part will be, what is it? Hoskins went to the Redskins. So that's just going to be a storyline for the next 5-10 years.
Well, no. I don't. What do you mean the storyline?
Well, I mean,
every time they play that they passed on him, but
that's
I
said 5
Daniel
because
Jones.
they'll have to give him 4 or 5 years.
Daniel Jones is going to be there for that long.
No, it's when Hoskins comes in.
It'll be a story for at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. So
you don't think Daniel Jones is good at all?
I mean,
I don't know enough to know. I remember I won money on him in a bowl game. He played really well.
Counts for something.
Yeah, so I mean,
what was the scouting report?
I'm going off scouting reports, the things that I've seen.
Yeah, what was the scouting report? He's got an adequate arm, doesn't have any pop. The scouting reports were not very high on him.
If you draft him in the 3rd round or the 2nd round, I mean, and
he could develop, but that's what I'm saying. Everything about him was...
Gettleman, not only did he say it'll take 3 years, but then he turned around the next day, he said he knew for a fact that there were 2 more teams going to take him before they picked 7 teams.
Right.
So name them, Gettleman. Name them.
Man.
Also, why not just shut up and say, like, we went? It was our guy. We went and got our guy.
That's all you got to do. I'm the GM of the New York Giants. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. I'll do what I want to do.
I don't think you're good because you got rid of Odell Beckham.
I still think
listen, when they got rid of Beckham, I'm like, I get why they did it, because he some sort of cancer, maybe that was going on. There was a problem in the locker room is why they got rid of him. But at the same time, as the GM, don't you come down and squash it and figure it out another way?
Are you okay with the Saquon Barkley left from last year? Was that a good pick?
Yeah.
In retrospect, it's a terrible pick, right?
I still don't think it's a good pick.
Right.
I mean, he's fine. He's a really good football player.
Really He's great.
But in that year and the amount of quarterbacks that are there that year, and David Montgomery not as good as Saquon Barkley, but you can get really good running backs whenever.
You basically said you're going to be the last place team, right? You're going to be a bad team for a couple of years at least.
Too. He has said that. He goes, you can still put a good team out there while rebuilding.
But you're in a rebuild. You spend all that draft capital on a running back whose shelf life in the NFL is about 5 years.
Yeah.
Nick, let's just be argument's sake. Let's just say that Saquon turns out to be one of those backs that can play longer than that. Let's say he turns out to be like a Walter Payton / Barry Sanders.
Right.
All right. He's playing with the Bears at the beginning of that stretch when the Bears had nothing.
Right.
All right.
I didn't put my headsets on yet.
Same thing with Barry Sanders.
You walked in, we just started coming right at you.
Yelling that I don't even. I just put my headsets on.
Just came out.
But Barry Sanders at the same time. How long did it take for them to build a team around him?
Yeah, but here's the thing too: is that worries you with Saquon Barkley is that they're going to use him a lot this year. So that 5-year window maybe goes to 4. That 6-year window goes to. I mean, they're going to use the heck. I mean, he's going to be a workhorse on a bad football team.
Yeah.
So you're going to take your best player who's going to get pounded and he's going to get overused to win 6 games, and that's being generous, right? I mean, that's
and at this point, the more games you win, the more you're hurting yourself down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
They still needed help O-line, and they had these were the O-line guys, and one of the top ones ended up going way late to Philly of all that. But the one that I saw that was the highest graded. Where did it go to Philly? I'm sorry. Andre Dillard out of Washington State. Yeah. He was offensive tackle. I mean, they had so many different tackles that were...
Yeah, it wasn't a great year.
They needed help. They needed help on that O-line. They drafted Will Hernandez last year. It helped a little bit, but they still have a ton of holes in New York.
I wish Merrick was in because their Dolphins... Dolphins are doing it correctly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what they basically did is they know that next year is Tua, so tank for Tua.
Yeah.
Their team is terrible. They went out and got a quarterback, so they spent a second-round pick. So it's not the end of the world, but they spent a second-round pick to get Josh Rosen. He plays this year. They're probably not going to win a lot of games. If they do win a lot of games, that means Josh Rosen's really good. And then you can
won.
Yeah, so you found your quarterback. And if he's not very good, you wasted a second-round pick, but that's okay. We still have a really good pick, and we're set to go. I thought they were going to take that Jeffrey Simmons, the kid from...
That's what Merrick wanted too, yeah.
Who ended up...
He went Tennessee did.
Yeah,
he went
because
before they could
he's a really good and he's a really good player that he can sit because he's hurt. And then, I think they're doing it pretty good. I mean, Tua should be pretty good coming out next year. And
well, their pick at 13 with a defensive tackle with Christian Wilkins was great.
Yeah. That's not going to win you a ton of... I mean, that's a nice addition, but it's not going to...
defense. That's getting a guy in Tom Brady's face up the middle. I mean, that's where you get to Brady, is you get in his face from a push in the middle. Really, I think that's what bothers, because he likes to move up in the pocket.
Like the Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl for the next 8 years.
You're
it doesn't
right,
matter.
Nick. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying if you want to beat them eventually, and then I'm just going down.
Did you guys keep up with the stuff out of Kansas City this weekend? Because it was
a little bit, yeah.
That stuff is just disgusting.
Let's take a break and talk about that as well. Because there's more things to talk about around the NFL and this draft and this crazy weekend.
All right. Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa and is nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi. It's served the fine community of Davenport since 1992, and they have a bunch of great beers, such as the Davenport Gold, a satisfying American ale, the Wise Guy, their take on an instantly recognizable German wheat, or the Raging River, an English-inspired American IPA. You can check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit the webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. We're calling our bars and restaurants to get a hold of your local distributor and put some Front Street beer on your tap lines or in your coolers today. That's Front Street Brewery, 208 East River Drive, or the tap room in the Freight House Complex.
This is Turk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local on ESPN 93.5.
Your garage is cluttered. Instead of a place to park your car, you've got sports equipment, lawn tools, half-finished projects, and a workbench that hasn't been touched in years. Tailored Living of the Quad Cities can take your garage from clutter and chaos to functional and fun. Whether you want a killer man cave or just to get clean and organized with an epoxy floor and custom garage cabinets, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com and you and I will design the garage of your dreams.
From the first pitch to the last out, you'll hear every inning of Chicago Cubs baseball on ESPN 93.5.
He's at the warning track. It's at the wall. Solo.
Presented by Frick's Tap, Glens Creek Golf Course, G&G Retailers, Augustana College Athletic Department, Sexton Ford, American Family Insurance, Adam Rattler Agency.
Game over. Cubs win.
The Chicago Cubs are on the Quad Cities Sports League leader, ESPN 93.5.
Not again!
What's wrong?
My t-shirts are never right no matter where I order from. They either get the design wrong, they're a week late, or the print falls off after one wash.
You have to try QC Custom Tees and More. They make ordering shirts fun, and their screen printer Chad does amazing work. Their artist Anna always seems to know what I want. She makes it come to life.
I'm listening.
I got my spirit wear for my team and met Sean, the GM. He was so nice, and he followed it up by carrying my shirts to my car for me. They really know how to treat you right. We did an online store, and within a week of it closing, my shirts were printed and even sorted out by the individual order. QC Custom Tees could not have made it easier.
Well, sounds like I've been going to all the wrong places. I am definitely calling them.
QC Custom Tees and More continues to grow year after year. If you need screen printing, embroidery, banners, promo products, or anything else custom printed, why not go to QC Custom Tees and More, where they'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. Check them out on Facebook or at QCCustomTees.com.
Sheedy Family Chiropractic is your choice for chiropractic care in the Quad Cities. From little leaguers to high school athletes and the weekend warriors, treating new injuries, muscle or joint problems, and chronic pain, we are committed to providing cost-effective care for your family's needs. Same-day appointments available most days for new patients and always $20 sports physicals. Sheedy Family Chiropractic, getting you back to work, play, and life. Call today or find us online at SheedyChiro.com. That's SHEEDY Chiro.com.
Now that my dad works for Winger Truck Line, I get to see him on weekends. And the best part, he gets to go to my baseball games and even helps out with coaching my team. Winger has helped me become a happier kid and made my dad a cool truck driver.
This is Eric at Winger Truck Line, where flexible home time really means something. Now hiring part-time, home daily, and regional home weekends. Call me today at Winger Truck Line, 800-593-6433, or visit drivewtl.com.
Cubs and Bears and local talk. You found it. Your home of the only local sports talk show in the Quad Cities. Don't hassle us. We're local. Noon to 2 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
And we're back in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, are local here. ESPN 93.5. Thanks for the bumper, Jay. You're supposed to go dun, dun, dun.
All right, I'll start working on some bumpers, but yeah, it's still a little fresh. This weekend, the Rock Island over at Augustana, they hosted the draft. They got 4 picks they got to announce?
Yeah, they ended up with 4 picks.
How'd that go for you over there?
It was fun. It was weird because, so it's on our station, so we were there. We did like a half-hour show before the leading up to the draft. I had a lot of fun. Had Ken Anderson on there. Corey did a really cool story on the history of and I think a lot of people have heard about it the last couple of weeks, the history of the NFL in the Quad Cities. And then Pat Anger and Jake Gervais stopped by, which was fun, and Steve Bell, the coach over at Augustana, stopped by too. So it was a lot of fun. But it's on our station. We kind of know it's 6th round, and when Ken came up, he was like, "Hey, it's probably just 1 pick in the 6th round. We're hoping to get more, but they're kind of telling me it's this pick and that's it." And then it went crazy, and all of a sudden we had 2 picks. I think it was 190 and 191, both to Minnesota. And so they did those, and then we knew we were going to have Ken at 210. So we had 20 picks. So we ran up. They nicely, since it was so disgusting outside, gave us a suite to put everything in and do all our stuff. So I'm like, let's hop on air, talk about the ones that they just saw, and then say, hey, stay tuned, because coming up is Ken's pick at 210. And we get upstairs, and the guys upstairs like, no, they've never showed anything. I'm like, well, they just did. They just took 2 picks, and I knew they were doing them, and then they were airing them a little bit later. So it wasn't like live. It was they tape it live and then they'd show it like 5 minutes later. So we kind of watched, because it was like 188 is what they were on, and all of a sudden they went from 188 to 194. I was like, what in the world? They didn't show on ABC or ESPN those picks. So, and then I started getting like text messages like, what happened? We didn't have our pick on or whatever. The NFL Network aired those 2 picks.
Okay.
So those 2 picks went to the NFL Network. I don't know how they did it, what the rationale was, how they divvied it up or whatever. I actually had to get on. We have a computer in all of our sister stations, and I went to WGN because they were recording it, and they happened to be recording the NFL Network. And I kind of scrolled through and I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. So so those 2 were on the NFL Network, and then we're just kind of crossing our fingers, because they're like, well, if they didn't do those two. Hopefully they at least give us Ken, and it was great. Ken did his thing, and then they did the pick afterwards to Carolina. I don't remember who it was or whatever, but 210 or 211 went to them. Somebody else announced them as well. So yeah, 4 picks, and then we went upstairs with Ken to do a cut-in, and we got there and got all set up, and we actually got to watch it with Ken, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So he did it, they taped it, and then we got up to the suite, and we were sitting there with his family and stuff, and then they showed it on ABC, and then we cut in with him and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really cool. I tell you what, if it wasn't disgusting outside, and hats off to all the people who came out, because there was hundreds of people that were still there. It was still a good turnout. If it was a nice day out, I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of people. I bet that place was full. And if you looked around to the rest of the nation and some of the other cities, it was like they'd go to Dayton and it'd be a flag football team, and that was it. Or they'd go to some place and it'd be a mayor, and that's it. And then you go to the Quad Cities and Rock Island, and it was, on a crappy day, hundreds of people going crazy and the mayor talking or Ken talking. I mean, it looked fantastic.
You hear that, Dayton? Randazzo's calling you out.
Calling everybody out. That
everyone in Dayton.
Yep. And there's a lot of listeners in Dayton.
Come in here and fight Randazzo.
Yeah, right now.
6.1 million views over the weekend to watch this this draft.
Wow.
So over 600,000 attended in Nashville.
That's crazy. Did you hear about the Bachelorette?
I did.
Crap?
I don't know how you couldn't have. Yeah.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
They had bachelorette parties all over Nashville, Nick.
They're angry because the NFL draft ruined their bachelorette parties.
Oh.
Because there's
How
just
do you
a
not know that it's there?
Yeah. Sweaty dudes talking about their draft picks. And
I get they might not know about the NFL draft because they don't probably care about football at all. But like, when the bridesmaids, when the maid of honor calls and get a hotel, and all of a sudden it's like $600 a night. Doesn't wait a minute, something's going on here.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
Is Nashville
and then
like a destination?
There was one on there.
Nashville, yes, a lot of bars.
It's a big bachelorette
it's like
destination?
A big, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
T-Roy works down there for like a couple weeks a year.
Yep.
Bachelor season.
The bachelorette season.
Or bachelor season.
I dance.
Whatever.
Yeah. I dance.
Whatever.
It goes in bachelorette
The girl's
season.
like, what are you doing? We're wearing wigs tonight.
It's like the Sturgis for bachelorette parties.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was sad because there was one really mad bride to be, and she just was on TV and she was like, my husband's gonna pay for this.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's
why. Because
he will not get to, because she's mad at the NFL, so he will not get to watch NFL football. She said this year.
Wow.
Yeah, you might want to
he backs out of that.
You might want to rethink things, buddy.
Yeah.
I hope he backs out of that.
Yeah.
She's got
the NFL ruined her bachelor.
So
that's bridezilla. God, and I hate that word. I'm bridezilla. I'm a bridezilla. Shut up. You're a pompous idiot. Just getting married. You're lucky a guy asked you.
Man. T-Roy's calling you out, bachelorettes.
Oh my God.
He
That's
wants
the
to
most
fight.
disgusting
And if there's
thing.
any bachelorettes in Dayton, we got a tag
good
team match
Lord.
right now.
Imagine a guy walking around being like that.
the brother and-
like, I'm gonna get so mad if things don't go this way today, guys. You better have the night about 5 strippers and a bunch of beer for me for my bachelor party, or I'm gonna go nuts.
It sounds like you might have been that way.
The brother-in-law is on the Vance Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line. He said one of the bridesmaids lives in Vegas and works as a TV reporter. Basically, she should have known better. And when the bridesmaid said, "Hey, like let's maybe go somewhere else. There's other places to go."
It would be like scheduling your bachelor party in Vegas like the week of the rodeo or the week of like the NCAA tournament, where the whole city's just packed.
Well, I know,
and you know it's going to be packed.
But it was packed, but it was probably fun. It's not like
yeah,
it
well,
wasn't
how does it
fun.
ruin it?
Is it
How
good?
does it
Is it
ruin
fine
your-
for the,
We went to
It's
Mardi
packed.
Gras.
It's like 6-1 dudes and girls. The brides. I mean, think about the whole suck for a buck thing. Think how much money they raised. Like, what's the problem with that?
I just don't understand.
What's the suck for
They
the
put a
buck?
sucker on a thing. Don't.
Okay, that one. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
Don't turn it into something.
How would the NFL ruin
It
the
is
party?
1 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, guys.
Like
I
why?
didn't know what it meant.
Why having a party somewhere where more people are going to be? Does that make the party suck?
Yeah, we went to Mardi
Seriously.
Gras when the Super Bowl was down there, and it was great. I guess we're guys, so I think we're probably thought it was cool to walk around and see the fridge and all these other people are roaming around, but. John Clayton. I saw John Clayton in an elevator. True story. As a Lions fan, and I'm wearing a Lions something or other, and he's like, "Oh, Lions fan," and I was probably overserved, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm a Lions fan." Joey Harrington, because like they just picked Joey Harrington.
yeah.
Shows how long ago. He's Joey Harrington. He
Quack,
goes,
quack, everybody.
Puffing his chest out.
he
Heck
looks-
yeah, I am.
He looks at it and he looks at me and he goes, Joey Harrington won't do anything in this league. He'll be out of the league in 3 years.
Good luck, kid.
Who are you? I remember walking off that going, John Clayton sucks.
Yeah.
How dare he say that? He doesn't know anything about football.
He doesn't know anything.
John Clayton nailed it.
John, you win. You win, John. You always do.
How come he's not on ESPN anymore? I always loved that. Remember that commercial where he's up in his bedroom?
Yeah.
He yells at his mom to bring him a pot pie or something. And he's rocking out to Megadeth.
He's tiny. He's just a wee little man. But he's a smart wee little man. But are you really going out on a ledge to say that like the Lions quarterback's not going to be good? Ooh, daring. Probably right.
I think you probably had too much beer there, Bachelorette number one.
Scott Mitchell, baby.
It probably wasn't even John Clayton.
Yeah.
They probably got on the elevator and was like, that idiot thought I was John Clayton.
It's just a guy who vaguely looks like him. And he goes to the Super Bowl every year.
Rides up and down the elevator waiting for people to come in.
What Daz was not telling you, that was his bachelor party. Mr.
And I was irate that they
John
decided to have
Clayton
the Super
ruined
Bowl.
my bachelor party.
They had the Super Bowl in my part. Oh, man, I was so mad.
We got TK on here on the Vance Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment thread, and he's talking about the Raiders
draft.
Yeah, he's a Raiders
TK.
fan.
I got to talk to TK. I don't know if he heard me.
I love the post. Farrell is a champion. Yes, he.
TK, did you hear me last night on air? I said that the Raiders had a very good draft.
Well,
so
they had a decent
but it's
draft.
hard not to when you have that many picks.
Yeah, but you don't need to jump up that high to get
So who
Cleveland.
did they get
Farrell.
for the pick with the Bears? Was that 27?
They got I have
that
it right
was
here.
Dallas, I think.
No, Dallas was probably
Jonathan
Dallas was
Abram
24.
was Jacobs.
Jonathan Abram from Mississippi State, the safety.
Yeah, and they got Josh Jacobs with the Dallas pick.
Because that's when it's kind of fun for Bears fans, when all said and done after next year's draft too, when they say we got Khalil Mack and we gave up, and then you name the 3 players or 4 players, and they're like, wow, that was a really bad trade or a good trade for the Bears, bad for the Raiders.
Anyone trust John Gruden with this much capital?
Well, they got a lot of Clemson. They got
they have Jake Gervais coming in so I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
so the guy who was undrafted was the good pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. What needs to happen is Gruden needs to be Gruden and make sure Carr's a good quarterback. So.
Yeah, let's take a break. Continue this yelling at each other after this word from sponsors.
All right, every Monday at Van's Pizza Pub and Grill, you can get a large pizza and appetizer for $15.99 from 6 to 11 and wash it down with $3 you-call-its. So grab some bread nuggets and try one of Van's specialty pizzas like the Iowa Farmhand, a pizza like no other with homemade farmhand sauce, diced pork tenderloin, yellow onions, topped with diced pickles, or try Jaybird's favorite, the Yo Adrian. You get any of these food items, just check out Van's menu at vanspizza.net and then call Good to Go Quad Cities at 322-2220. Place your order online at goodtogoqc.com. Grab these specials and more fun at 3333 North Harrison Street or downtown Davenport at 217 Brady. Van's Pizza Pub and Grill. Come get served.
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local on ESPN 93.5.
Catch every swing, double play, and home run at the Quad Cities Home for Sports. Frick's Tap in Davenport. Don't miss a single inning on their 23 TVs. Enjoy the best daily food and drink specials in town. Throwback $2 domestic tall boys, $3 cooler shots, $4 burger baskets, and raffles during every live Cubs broadcast. Frick's is your place to be for every game. Come for the game and stay for the fun with live music, DJs, and karaoke. Frick's Tap. Good people and good beer. Served properly. West 3rd Street, Davenport.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the 9th. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $200 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher and compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Limited time offer. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
Hit a home run on your next new or used car purchase
at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered your personal field of dreams. You'll be treated like an all-star from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a major league selection of pre-owned vehicles. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Cubs and Bears and local talk. You found it. Your home of the only local sports talk show in the Quad Cities. Don't hassle us. We're local. Noon to 2 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
Well, thank you, Big Voice Guy. We are back in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. We got Randazzo in studio, Nick Toffanelli filling in for the Stat Cat. How the paws doing over there?
Huh?
How are your paws?
Sore, baby.
We're talking NFL draft. We're talking the draft that was here in the Quad Cities, actually.
Well, before we went to the break, we kind of brought up a little bit of what's going on down in Kansas City, and it looks like this week it's possible that Tyreek Hill could be put on the GM's the exemption list, which means basically he can get paid still, but he cannot practice. He's basically suspended, but suspended with pay. Is what that is. As the investigation ongoing that they reopened because there's an audio tape of him talking to his fiance how they're just going to handle the injuries to their child. So, not good.
Ew.
Considering,
I guess I don't really know the whole story, so someone please fill me in.
From what I know, he was. Had charges against them. The kid broke his arm. 3-year-old kid came up with a broken arm. They wanted to know who did it. They thought he did it. I guess they basically came out recently and said, I think it was late last week, saying they had to drop the case. They couldn't pin it between. They were sure it was mom or dad, but they didn't know which one. They didn't have enough evidence to go forward with it, so they just couldn't keep going. And I guess at some point, I might be wrong on some of this. Sometime the fiance decided to tape the conversation with Tyreek Hill and basically as a backup insurance policy for her in case something did go down, basically with him saying that if you listen to the tape, it's just disgusting. I mean, it's just basically him admitting to when the kid did something wrong, make him open up his arms and he'd punch him in the chest. Kid's 3 years old.
Hey.
The kid respects me is what he said. And then at one point he basically said, she said, you're terrified of me, or he's terrified of you. And he said, you should be terrified of me too. Explicitive,
Screw that guy. Shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, the thing is, it's not like he came with he had some trouble at Oregon State.
I'm not sorry. No,
before he was drafted.
Yeah, he's got stuff.
And as soon as the Kareem Hunt came out in this, when the Kareem Hunt thing broke, a lot of people were on the Chiefs saying like, "Well, you drafted Tyreek Hill with some baggage as well."
Yeah.
You better hope he never runs into me in dark alley because he'll be afraid of me.
If this thing goes down, I mean, if anything like the Adrian Peterson, I mean, he's at least a year.
That's disgusting. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's disgusting. He doesn't even play in the league again. And if I'll tell you right now, if my team would pick him up after he's cut, I'll never like that team again.
I had somebody say to me at the station, as a dad of 4 kids, like, what do you think of that? I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're a dad of 4 kids.
Yeah. It shouldn't matter. Yeah.
As a human
being, that's terrible. And yes. And whether it. And so now then of course
there's no excuse for it.
So,
I'm sorry.
And it's a local station in Kansas City, and hats off to him, was the one who broke the story and got the tape and aired it. And so after they aired it, of course, the police got the tape, and now they reopened the investigation. Yeah. So hopefully something happens investigation wise, but they don't have to try that way in the NFL. The NFL is not that way. They don't have to. You're innocent until proven guilty and fine. I mean, the stuff that's already going on, that tape alone, that tape itself should get him. And unfortunately, he'll get suspended if he doesn't get tried and convicted by the legal system. If that doesn't happen, what scares me is he's going to get a 6-game suspension.
Yep. And then someone will roll the dice on him. It might not be Kansas City.
You had Ray Rice literally punch a woman on video and I guess he never played again, which is the nice part about that. But same thing with Nixon.
All right, you're
live on air.
Am I on the air?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit about the draft. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Go ahead, bud.
What's your name?
I'm Kent from Geneseo.
Okay.
Thanks for calling, Kent.
So I'm a huge Cowboy fan, and I'm looking at their draft, and I'm also a Notre Dame fan, and I know they need defense, and I'm looking at these Notre Dame guys that are still out there, like Drew Tranquill, Javon Coney, Julian Love, and then the Cowboys take a couple running backs, which I get the kid from Memphis, Pollard's good. I think Dexter Williams was still out there. I felt those guys, I don't know, maybe I'm just partial because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I thought Tranquil is a lot like a Sean Lee, and I love Sean Lee to death, but he gets hurt a lot, and I thought Tranquil would be a great fit to put in with him, in and off on different plays, and I just kind of wonder what you guys thought about that.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, I think what they're thinking with Jalen Smith and with Vander Esch, they have their linebacker core filled. They will take what they can get out of Sean Lee when they get it. I mean, you look at you'll see Vander Esch will make improvements from last year's great rookie season, and it'll be leaps and bounds. Tristan Hill, from everything I read about their first pick, and that would have been the second round pick, the defensive tackle from UCF, really good kid, raw, but they're thinking that Marinelli's going to really be able to work with him. Like you said, Tony Pollard, the running back they took in the fourth round, their third pick, he'll end up starting right away as a return man and probably helping out, just taking a little bit of pressure off Zeke. Now, they said that the third round pick that they took, their second pick, Connor McGovern, the guard out of Penn State, was a great value pick. Helps him, helps him value, with the depth on the O-line. I think every team's going to need that. Keep the freshness, keep the youth coming in there. As comparative, like after that, you're kind of talking about they had two fifth-round picks where I jokingly said, "Am I watching MTV in the '80s?" Because they took Michael Jackson and Joe Jackson, both out of the University of Miami. So a cornerback and a defensive end. Are they better than the guys from Notre Dame? I don't know, but I really don't. I think a lot of similarities for some of the guys, or value, I should say, with some of the guys you're bringing up. Time will tell, but they're saying that this Michael Jackson kid's going to be able to play in a lot of different packages, and that the defensive end, Joe Jackson, will help on the edge. So I think you're looking at their two fifth-round picks and their second, third, and fourth-round picks all playing this year. And then possibly the safety, Donovan Wilson, that they took from Texas A&M, possibly he starts and plays. But, yeah, and like I said, and then other than that, they did take the running back from Ohio State in the seventh round, Mike Weber, and then their last pick in the seventh round was Jalen Jenks from Oregon, I believe, defensive end. So that was just more of adding some depth. But we'll see. Like I said, I can't answer your question fully. I think overall I would say they had about a B- draft. So it was decent if you add the fact that Amari Cooper is the running. They got him too. You got to give him a good solid B.
Ken, the Packers got Dexter Williams. What do you think of Dexter Williams in general?
I love Dexter Williams. He's from what I've seen and what I've read, he's a hard worker. I mean, Brian Kelly loved him. Had nothing but nice things to say about the kid. He works hard. He shows up. He can find that hole. If it's not there, he's going to make it. He's got some great speed. I know, maybe I'm just being partial, but I've seen a lot of. I love college football. I've seen a lot of running backs the last few years. But he's just got. He's going to help the Packers out a lot. He's going to help Aaron Rodgers out tremendously.
Do you think Luke Herringgold is going to make it in the NBA?
What's that?
Do you think Luke Herringgold is going to make it in the NBA?
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of basketball lately, so I really can't honestly answer that question for you.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, appreciate your car. Hopefully we helped you out with your Cowboy questions, brother.
Hey, you guys do a great job, and I love listening to you guys.
Thanks.
All right, man.
Thanks for calling in.
Yep.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. So, yeah, the reading up on the exemption list, when we go back to the Hill thing, this is not something that the NFL usually does place in the offseason. They usually wait for the legal system to do its process, but
NFL doesn't.
Yeah, the league historically does not use the commissioner's exemption list in the offseason. But in this case, they can make it.
But they kind of stopped waiting for the legal system a couple years, like basically around the Ray Rice time, right?
But that's usually in season when they handle that stuff. Like,
oh, sure, okay,
yeah, that happened all in season because the outrage was that he only got 2 to start out with. I think Ray Rice. Am I right?
Yeah, I think it was, and then it was more after that, and then nobody touched him, thankfully.
Yeah, I mean,
which was.
But again, you're talking about a 30-year-old running back at the time, right?
Yeah, absolutely, they didn't touch him because he didn't. I mean, Jonathan Mixon, is it Mixon? For Bengals,
Joe Mixon, yeah.
Joe Mixon, there you go. Just the same thing. I mean, I was
Zeke, right?
Yeah,
Zeke had whatever it was. It was something. It wasn't.
But
it
was less documented than what this is,
right?
Yeah, it was not documented at all because they couldn't prove
Kareem Hunt. The Chiefs did maybe the right thing by letting him go right away, and then it's the same organization, and they're kind of dragging their feet, which is kind of disappointing. And boy, I mean, it's hard to be if you're a Chiefs fan, you're like you don't want that guy around. You don't want to root for those guys. You can't root for those guys. As a Cubs fan, I'm having trouble with what's going to happen in a few weeks.
Oh, when Dallas picked up the big defensive tackle was there 1 year, I was like, what are you doing?
Isn't half your roster, though?
Oh,
like that?
knock it off.
I didn't know. I mean, right?
Yeah,
no?
You're funny. But yeah, like you don't like any of that. But I mean, we're talking about a guy with a 3-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like, I have a 3-year-old kid.
And if you have kids.
I have a 3-year-old kid. I couldn't imagine breaking my child's arm.
No.
Like, what?
And not, I mean, the remorse. There's no remorse. There's no nothing.
Right.
I mean, it's just
like, yeah, it's all anger, and I'm gonna be yelling like what you're saying. Like I didn't hear it, but
yeah,
I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm like, that's not cool.
And a break tweet and put in Hill Kansas City Television, and it'll pop up, and it's just disgusting. I didn't do it the day. I was probably like Saturday when I did it, and I was pretty. I mean, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter at all. I've been too busy running around.
So Dazzo, what do you got going on this week? Where you got to be? What are you looking forward to? First day of baseball in Iowa.
No, we're
the
not
weather's
there
good
yet.
for it.
Hey, Drake relays were this weekend.
Yeah.
Congratulations! A lot of great performances up there. Bettendorf did fantastic. What's her name? I'm going to call her Mallory King. Carly King from Assumption did fantastic as well. There's several other winners. So
Porter.
Darren Porter as well. So congrats to all them. Softball and baseball season's kind of wrapping up. Rock Island girls softball team won another Western Big Six championship on Friday. So that's kind of getting rolling now and kind of getting towards the stretch run. So we'll get really busy coming up soon with state track on both sides of the river, soccer on both sides of the river, softball, baseball on the Illinois side, all that kind of stuff.
Let's just hope it finally warms up at some point.
Yeah, well, I mean, this week I don't know, and honestly, as a sports guy in the spring, these days aren't terrible.
Yeah,
because anything that's going on isn't going on, so it makes it a little tougher to like fill up your sportscast. But I'll figure something out, and I don't have to run around crazy. So, but yeah, it's going to get really busy here in about the next month, and then kind of slow down after that. So, gives me a chance to promote my dad's golf outing real quick, right?
Yes, absolutely.
6 weeks away. 6 weeks from Saturday, and we're really excited because I talked to Nicholas Barrel out yesterday, and Nicholas is going to be in part of the golf outing. Now, Nicholas isn't a big basketball player. He's not a good golfer, so he's not going to be golfing.
What about Ethan Happ? I mean,
a few years ago, hush.
Is DJ going to make it out? Jason going to come?
We're working on it. Wait for it. Okay. So that's probably a few weeks away, but. No, so Nicholas doesn't golf, and so a few years ago he came and we put a hoop up on hole 7 on the tee box, and Nicholas and some of the Augustana basketball players that year, it was Dylan Sortillo and Krishan Orange. This year it's going to be Micah Martin and a few others, Carson Frakes and a few others, but they all come and help out. So anyways, there's a basketball hoop on the tee box on 7. As you come through, you get some chips and salsa from Snoop, you hang out with the guys, you check them out, you can shoot some baskets. One player from each foursome can challenge Nicholas to a little shootout. If Nicholas beats you, you just continue to play. If you beat Nicholas, you get a stroke taken off your score.
Oh,
as a team.
Definitely. Yeah.
Jay, come on.
And I mean, as a shootout, I mean, like it's a quick boom, boom.
We got to.
I
have to figure. Next year, I'm coordinating with him so the Harrington's tournament is not on the same day.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And so we talked to, and he was hoping to, and we talked yesterday, and he says he's in. So I'm excited for that. You mentioned Chasen. Chasen is efforting to make it, so he's not a for sure, but we're going to have him kind of do the same thing, not on the course, but he's going to be there from noon to 1, just kind of signing autographs.
Playing with Pat?
We're all hoping. I'm playing with Pat, Jake Gervais, and Joe Conklin's on my team. So Pat and Jake will both be there as well. Jake is a hopeful as well. Hopefully things do really well in Oakland, and he's not able to make it. He's hoping to be there and wants to be there. And I keep telling him, I hope you're not here.
Yeah.
I hope you're not playing, man. So we'll see what happens with all that.
That can hit a 7-iron 90 degrees to the right.
90 yards. Is it 90 yards? Yeah.
90 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm searching down Ethan Happ as we speak. So Ethan, I know, listens to this every single day.
See, I give you a hard time, but then, people ask me about, and it just happened today, someone asked me about, I don't know, something stupid about what I do. And then I was like, yeah. And then I mentioned the radio show, but I name drop. I'm like, oh, Randazzo comes in every once in a while from WQAD.
Well, you notice I didn't ask him if he was going to be playing with Kaker. Because Kaker's still on his list.
Kaker's not playing.
He doesn't play?
He's not playing.
No.
I mean, I guess
He said no?
I guess the memory of my dead dad doesn't resonate too well with. I'm just saying, who else would it be?
You know, you would think someone would care, but I guess not. I guess not.
We've known each other for like 20 years. I mean, he was around. He was around, and he knows what I went through, and he passed away. But I mean,
but he's already made it up. That time's passed.
It's whatever. So I mean, no, and he's not playing this year. I think he's going to.
Kaker coming on this week.
Yeah. He's taking his dad. He's taking his kid to New York or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
I told him. I wish I could go to New York with my dad. So take your kid. I mean, I do.
I'd love to.
I'd love to. I can't do that, but so it is. It's a lot of fun. The reason I name dropped was because I was promoting the event, and those are the people who are going to be at the event. So
it's good stuff.
It's a lot of fun. And it's June 8th. Go to Guy Randazzo Memorial Golf Outing on Facebook. All the information's there. You'll probably start seeing we're actually, WQAD's been nice enough to give us some commercial time this year, so we're going to run a few commercials coming up, so you'll see some information on that as well. But sign up quick because we've had 32 teams each of the last 3 years, so it does fill up and we get to where we want to be. So you don't want to, if you're interested and if you want to come check out all these numbers, Highland Springs Golf Course and Rock Island, and they're really good to us and all that kind of stuff.
It's a great course.
It's a great course, and if you're a bad golfer, who cares? My wife golfs with 3 girls, and they don't even golf. I think they hit the ball 3 times last year. They just drive from spot to spot and drink, which is great.
That's all right. They're having fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're interested, let me know on Twitter as well at Matt Randazzo, and we'll get you all signed up and all that good stuff.
Thanks, Randazzo. Appreciate it. Good seeing you, buddy.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Enjoy the weather.
All right, guys.
Yeah, take care.
All right. Buying a home can be overwhelming, so don't get discouraged by the process. From start to finish, you need guidance from a professional. So let Jen Peterson Murphy with RE/MAX Elite Homes use her extensive background in real estate to help you navigate the process. From lending qualifications and budgeting costs to recommended inspections, Jen can get you the most for your money in a competitive market. Jen specializes in residential retail estate sales and assisting first-time home buyers. So for expert advice, including strategic marketing practices, comprehensive market analysis, and staging your home and the assessments, think Jen Peterson Murphy of RE/MAX Elite Homes.
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
G&G Retailers is the best locally owned gun shop in the Quad Cities. In business for 3 generations. Excellent customer service, family atmosphere, and expertise in firearm knowledge. Whether you are a first-time gun buyer, avid shooter, or collector, they give you the best information to make the best purchase. They have one of the area's largest selections of reloading supplies, full stock of hunting and sporting rifles, and new and used handguns. For all your gun and gunsmith needs, visit G&G Retailers on the corner of 17th and Division in Davenport.
In a world where dreams are built from the ground up, Tailored Living makes room for your vision. Imagine his and her walk-in closet in the master bedroom.
Oh, my dream come true. I could just kiss you. Mwah!
Sweet. Your home, your dream.
Tailored Living Custom Closet or Organization System will take you from clutter and chaos to control. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com, and together you and I will build the closet of your dreams.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the ninth. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $200 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher and compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Limited time offer. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
Sensitivity, understanding, and a tradition of kindness and caring. It's so important when a family loses a loved one. Call on us, Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, for all your service needs. You have our single-minded attention to every detail. With a range of choices and services available, our professionalism, and our deepest sympathy. Wheelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
The American Led Zeppelin, Get the Lead Out. The iconic music of the mighty Zepp, performed to perfection. September 19th at Adler Theater. All the passion and fury. The music of Led Zeppelin, just like you remember it. Get the Lead Out. September 19th. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.com and the Adler Theater box office. Produced by Nightlight Promotions.
Cubs and Bears and local talk. You found it. Your home of the only local sports talk show in the Quad Cities. Don't hassle us. We're local. Noon to 2 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
Do the theme from Dallas. Dun, dun, dun,
I love this music. This is great. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us Local here on ESPN 93.5, and we're live in studio with Merrick Bray from
a human
SW Pro.
beatbox. You guys miss me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to bookend. You got to do the draft, but hey, real quick.
I was listening on the way in. You guys were doing a lot of draft talk already, huh?
We want to hear about your new quarterback and everything, but
you got to be excited, I think, right?
You think?
Are you? Are you not?
Do I? Do I have to be?
You know, you don't like this Josh Rosen guy?
I think Josh Rosen's his face represents my attitude about the whole thing.
He does have
he's a little droopy.
He's got that I just want to put my fist in your suckle type face. Is that what you're saying?
You would certainly rather watch 16 of Rosen than 16 of Fitzpatrick, though, right?
What? What are you talking about?
No?
Fitzpatrick is so entertaining. He's like a raging dumpster
the roller
fire.
coaster of it.
He burns bright.
Okay,
he's got a beautiful beard.
I just want to lose a lot of football
you're
games
right.
next
You're
year. But you know what? I said it last Friday when we saw the trade possibly going down. Josh Rosen is 1 for 100% at getting you the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. So if he can do that for us and we can go ahead and take our quarterback of the future next year, I'm all for it.
Like, what if he can look good for about 4 games and you get like a 3rd or 2nd rounder out of him?
Well, I watched his press conference today, and his beard was trimmed perfectly, aligned right to his fade. So I mean, he did look pretty good, but.
Love it.
If he's all right, if he's competent, we still get number 1 overall draft pick, or we do have a ton of draft picks in the 2020 draft. Maybe we can trade up with somebody who may not need a quarterback. We can still get Tua, or who knows? Maybe we don't get Tua. We wait an extra year, get Trevor Lawrence. Whatever happens, I'm cool with it. And you know what? If Josh Rosen
works out,
exactly. If Josh Rosen ends up being a great quarterback, I'm going to be the first one that says I was wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. I just want the Dolphins to be a good football team. Not next year. I want to lose a lot of games next year.
Yeah.
After that, I want to see us be a winner. I've been a fan since I was 5 years old, so we're talking 1991. I got to see some good Marino years, and then he retired, and we've made the playoffs 3 times since 2000. And lost in the first round all 3 times. So it hasn't been a fun existence. I'm going to blame a lot of that on Tom Brady, but most of the blame goes on the ineptitude of the front office. And we'll see if they got this one right. But I'm not one to be all rah-rah about the Dolphins front office. So
last year going into the draft, I thought that Rosen was the one that was going to turn out to be the best of this class. Now, granted, we only have 1 year behind our belts, and
he wasn't on a good football team.
No, right. And that's the thing.
And they fired their offensive coordinator halfway through the season, so he had to deal with that. Terrible offensive line, but he
broken team.
All things considered, he still had a very, very poor rookie season. 11 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, terrible passer rating. Just didn't look like a competent player. A lot of times he'd see pressure and he'd drop his feet, throw flat-footed, throw directly into the arms of a defender. Didn't make a lot of good decisions. So we'll see what happens. Chad O'Shea, new offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, came from the Patriots system, many years working with Tom Brady. You have to learn something there, right?
Offspring of the O'Sheas from the Little Giants, right? Danny O'Shea and
are we bringing in?
Yeah. Despite the move for Rosen and despite picking Kyler Murray, the Cardinals and the Dolphins still remain, according to the Westgate, as the lowest out of all of the NFL at win total at 5 for the NFL futures.
We're not winning 5 games.
So Miami also has the worst odds to make the postseason at plus 1,100.
Awesome.
And Arizona's right behind them at plus 1,000. For the 4th year in a row, obviously the Patriots are at the highest win total at 11. Kansas City has only been moved down a half game after the news of Tyreek Hill. So when we talked about this before the draft 3 weeks ago, when we went through who's got the best odds to make it in win total, and it was said, you have to wait till after the draft. There really hasn't been much move at all after the draft. And other news, just to report quickly before we get into more of it. At 51 years old, director of Boys in the Hood, John Singleton, will be taken off of life support after suffering a stroke.
Wow.
Well, you saw this morning they had released that he had passed away.
And
then
they
an
said
hour later said, no, he's not.
He's just in a coma. And then now it's just being reported that he will be taken off life support. Directed Boys in the Hood at age 24.
Right. Classic.
So, didn't mean to bring down the room, but,
Marvin, you going to make it?
Yeah. Pour out a little. Yeah, so that's sad news.
Homies. I got it.
Yeah, don't put that on there. Okay. Yeah. So, no, the rest of the draft, Merrick, what'd you think?
Are we talking Dolphins or are we talking everybody?
Well,
talk fish.
Yeah, talk your team up.
Christian Wilkins is a good pick. I like that pick. I think he's going to be a high character player for us. We got an offensive lineman from Wisconsin in the 3rd round. You really can't go wrong with linemen from Wisconsin, can you? They all turn out to be solid pros.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm cool with that. Draft gets a little shaky for the Dolphins after that. We took a linebacker named Andrew Van Ginkel from Wisconsin.
Isn't that Vanilla Ice?
Yes. I'll tell you what,
it is.
he kind of looks like him. He's got long blonde hair. He's like a little Clay
Shade eyebrow?
Matthews clone. I didn't get a close look at his eyebrows, but I'm sure he can.
We'll know for sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Rangy, well traveled. Started at South Dakota. Went to a junior college after the coach retired. Then went to Wisconsin. Made some plays. Looks like that was a little bit of a reach there, especially with some other players on the board. I'm upset we did not really address our edge rusher need. We really do need some pass rushers. We got rid of Cam Wake and Robert Quinn. Haven't replaced those guys. Instead, we drafted a fullback in the 7th round. I mean, he's got some cool plays on tape. He blocks well, I guess.
Fullback.
But, we're going
Thank you
to
for
be
Robert
running
Quinn, by the way.
He's going to be our James Devlin. We're running that Patriot system now, so we'll give him a shot. And then we drafted a running back from the University of Washington with our other 7th round pick. So I really thought maybe we'd address the safety need, cornerback, edge rusher. We just punted on all that and said just give us a fullback and a Vanilla Ice clone at linebacker, and we'll be fine. So I think we're looking pretty good for that number 1 overall pick. So all things considered,
That's
not
what's
bad.
important here.
It really is.
It's a productive weekend.
Yeah, it really was a productive weekend in my world. It was a really productive weekend, not just NFL draft wise, but I don't know if you guys.
I want to hear it.
On the internet, we had a special guest at SCW Epic.
Yeah, I was gonna.
At
You
the
did.
Walcott
Who was the
Coliseum.
guest at Epic?
This is a buddy of mine.
Yeah,
just a friend.
Yeah.
Just a pal.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Seth Rollins, the WWE Universal Champion, opened our show. Came out in front of the packed house at the Walcott Coliseum and thanked the SCW Pro fans for supporting him throughout his career, but also supporting the future of professional wrestling, which is SCW Pro, which is the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. And I'll tell you what, that was. I'd like to sit here and tell you I had that plan months in advance, and I'm some master promoter that
you are.
Well, I see my opportunities here and there, but no. To tell you the truth, we're on our off season at Black and Brave. We actually start back up this week, so Seth and I haven't seen each other as much as we normally do when we're in session. I didn't even know he was going to be in town this weekend. I didn't know they had given him the weekend off. So when he did his surprise speech at the NXT show on Friday, I was like, oh, well, he must be in town. That's cool. And then I'm driving to pick up the trailer on Saturday, and I'm like, man, wonder if he's looking for something to do tonight. I wonder if he's going to be bored tonight. So I texted him and I was like, hey, you think anyone would be upset if you did that little NXT promo that you did last night, but you do it tonight at the Walcott Coliseum at SCW? And he said, probably not. And I was like, probably not. They won't be upset, or probably not. You don't want to do that. And then there was like a solid 45 minutes of no response. And I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen here? The suspense is killing me. And then I just got a text and he said, I'll do the gimmick. He's very short on words via text. You can never read the mood. But no, he was super happy to be there. We kind of snuck him in the back door, and I think a couple people saw him but didn't make a big deal out of it. He's been to a number of our events in the past just to watch the students. And I came out to open the show and gave him a nice introductory speech. And when I said the WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins, the place went nuts. We had a packed house anyway, and everyone it was cool seeing it from my perspective because everyone just rose to their feet at the same time, threw their arms in the air and started screaming. And it was one of those moments that you're not going to forget. I tweeted about it later that evening, and that was the first time him and I have shared a ring in front of a live audience in a decade. 2009 was the last time we were in a ring together in front of a live audience. So that was kind of special for me. It was special for everyone in attendance. We always tell people you never know what can happen at SCW Pro, and you don't want to miss an event because you might miss something special.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry.
I almost cried.
I've been known to cry at wrestling
ever
events
since
before.
the WrestleMania when you said, I was like, you cried.
I cried. I cried at this year's WrestleMania. I cried at WrestleMania 31, and I cried at WrestleMania 12 watching it on VHS.
And I always have to ask.
Did you see Endgame?
No, I did not.
All right.
Not
I was just
yet.
going to ask if you cried.
No, I probably won't. But if there's ever a Wild Dog movie, I might cry during that.
That's happening. That's in the works.
I'll be in tears when JR Videos burns down in the Wild Dog movie.
I have to ask, was my boy Sensei Bach there?
Nope, no Sensei Bach this time.
Corn Boy?
I think you might be the kiss of death. All your favorites end up elsewhere.
Dang it.
Corn Boy was there. Epic is our WrestleMania, right? So we can't get everyone on that event. We try as best as we can. We had a lot of featured matches, dog collar match, Steven Youngblood's last match ever, no disqualifications. Matt Cage and Joe Acer had a tremendous, incredible unsanctioned street fight. One of the best matches I've ever seen live in SCW Pro. So it's really hard to get everybody on the event, but that's why we have 4 shows in May. You can come check us out.
What about Vicious and Delicious? Did they go that night?
Yeah, they attempted to regain the SCW Pro tag titles, but they were unsuccessful. However, Dion Roosman and Robin Steele tried to attack the Thunderhawks after the match.
So the Thunderhawks
trying to lay
are the
claim
one
to the
called
tag
Manders,
titles.
who else?
Yeah, Steve Manders and Latin Thunder.
Latin Thunder,
But Vicious and Delicious made the save.
Oh.
And saved Steve Manders and Latin Thunder from a beatdown from Dion Roosman and Robin Steele. So we'll have to see where that goes.
What's going on with that?
Well, maybe if you come to Wildwood in Iowa City this Saturday, you can find out. Tickets are just $10. Show starts at 7:30. Hawkamania 10. May the 4th be with you.
You've got 4 big shows coming up in May, don't you?
Yep, 4 shows, 4 different locations. We're traveling all over trying to bring entertainment to the masses.
You've got Iowa City
this
Walcott,
weekend.
Dubuque?
It's Iowa City this weekend. Then we're doing an outdoor event at the Beer Studio Moline. The following Friday. We have a weekend off. Then we come back to the Walcott Coliseum. And then 6 days later at the Rust Belt in East Moline. That's the big one. Ric Flair will be in the house, and we're going to have a good time that night.
Now, if my nephews, if I can get them to come to town,
Ric Flair,
my nephew Jack Arnbrister, his favorite is Crotch.
He'll be on all of them, baby.
All those cards, Crotch is on. All right.
Yep. He's a longtime veteran of SCW Pro. He gets he pulls out his vet card and gets vet status on all of our events.
Nick, if you've never seen Crotch in action,
I've seen Crotch in action.
Yeah. Okay.
He's good.
I think I've won some money betting on Crotch.
I hope so.
Yeah. So I mean, we're trying to do everything we can do to bring entertainment and excitement to the Quad Cities and really all around Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. We're trying to be the best thing going.
You guys really got a good thing going. I mean, let alone that you're going to have a legend, Ric Flair. I mean, your shows are always entertaining, no matter what. I mean, to me, I'm as excited about Ric Flair as I am about seeing Crotch or some of these other guys.
Well, thank you. We try to put the focus on having good storylines and having good anticipated matches. So you're not just showing up to a show randomly and seeing most of the card being just random dudes or girls wrestling each other. We really tried to put something behind each match that we put out there. And I think, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think we're doing a pretty good job.
You're doing great.
So if we make this movie about the superhero.
All right. Now we're back to Wild Dog.
I think Merrick has to have a part in this movie.
I do have some acting experience. I've been in a couple
He's
movies.
been on History Channel.
I have 2 separate IMDb pages, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
What? You do?
I do,
You have your SAG card?
Ron Mexico.
I believe it's in the mail. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mike Concho.
The last movie I did, I was told I was supposed to get a SAG card. I haven't received it yet, so maybe I have to wait till the movie comes out. I don't know how that works.
When did you do
I should
this
probably
film?
send an email.
Yeah, you probably should.
A couple months ago, I think, maybe less than that, maybe like a month and a half ago. There was a director who's originally from the Quad Cities, moved out to L.A., spends his time in L.A. and Seattle, and he's a cameraman on a lot of shows on the History Channel, A&E. I think he did. There's like an Alaskan gold mine show or something like that.
Yep.
He was on
I think
that.
there's like 10 of them.
Yeah, so he decided he wanted to write and direct a movie and film it in his hometown of Davenport, Iowa. The entire cast was either from L.A. or New York, but he had a part for a villain and needed help with choreographing some fight scenes. So he reached out to me, asked if I'd be interested. I said yes. I actually did some choreography for a film shot in Iowa City probably a decade ago, so I had a little bit of experience doing that as well. We shot in a house on, I don't know if it's Tremont or I can't remember what street, but we shot on location in a house in Davenport, and then we did a couple extra scenes actually at an SCW Pro show in Dubuque inside the ring. One of the main characters is an aspiring MMA fighter, and I played the villain who's infected with some sort of zombie-like virus, like a Jekyll and Hyde zombie-like virus. So it triggers. You're not a zombie all the time, but sometimes. Who was also a clown. He's a clown and wears like a bunny costume too. So I was an evil bunny / clown infected with a zombie virus who attempts to kill the main character.
You always get typecast.
Yeah.
Do you remember any lines that you had?
They are not fit for radio.
Oh, gotcha. So this movie hasn't been released yet?
No, I think it's still in editing right now.
And then it goes straight to TR Video?
I think it's being taken to film festivals, and then we'll see what happens there.
Oh.
But
is it going to play at Gathering of the Juggalos?
I'd go. I was actually booked to wrestle on a Juggalo, Gathering of the Juggalos once, but I pulled
hold on
off
a second.
last
That's a thing? Gathering of the Juggalos?
Oh yeah, it's a big festival.
It's the 20th anniversary of the Gathering of the Juggalos.
This summer. Know that?
They have all the music and wrestling and some comedy.
I have the internet. I got.
What? I have the internet too. I would never
Jay,
look up 20 years.
It's basically the Turnbuckle Fest, but for Juggalos.
I understand that, but to drop, it's 20 years, like it's common knowledge. Like, it's 20 years.
You didn't know that?
No!
Everyone's talking about
I
it.
could care less about the Juggalos.
It's Avengers Endgame, Game of Thrones final season, 20 years of Juggalo Fest.
Grab your Faygo root beer or...
Whoop, whoop.
Exactly.
What is that?
Jay, you are so out of the loop.
I don't want to be.
First, you don't know about Wild Dog. Then you don't know about
I'm
Gathering of the
Dog now,
Juggalos.
I'm Wild Dogged all up now.
Yeah.
You're Wild Dog. You thought it was Raw Dog.
No.
Anyways, the film is called The Things We Tell, The Ones We Love. Once I get information on where you can find it, I'll certainly provide that to you
let's
guys.
get a hold of this aspiring director and let's get a script going.
Exactly.
Because we'd started writing more and more about the night school wonder that is Jack Wheeler. And we figured maybe, he's got to avenge the loss of the Traveler too, right?
Well, I think, Merrick has the ability to play a villain. So now, I think Merrick, we can make him this underworld crime
I'll
boss.
set some porn on fire. I will.
Yeah. Hey,
I'll do it right now.
Marvin, hand me that sheet of paper.
I got some in my back pocket.
Don't you tempt me with a good time.
So we've already got Lobo casted, and he's the alien.
Lobo is?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a character called Lobo. That's what he's one of the bad guys.
So Lobo plays himself.
No,
Lobo plays
Lobo's
Lobo.
not an alien, but yes.
Okay.
Like Lobo from Lobo Salsa.
Yeah,
That
he's going to
Lobo's
play
it?
Lobo, yeah. But other people that he fights against, obviously, are just some American terrorists, and that's the Committee for Social Change.
Okay.
But the one that we really want to stop is the National Legion of Morality, that the ones that are willing to use arson to destroy pornographic material,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
through
That'd be
video.
me.
Yeah.
That's you. Big.
You want
not a big
anti-porn
fan.
guy.
Big
Yeah.
anti-porn T, right?
Yeah. And then someone else pulled up that he's got like a sidekick wild pup. What? I think we're pushing it there, though. That's like Scrappy Doo
Marvin
character.
can play
That's a
Wild
sequel.
Pup.
Yeah.
The sequel. will come
Marvin
in.
can play Wild Pup, and
Yeah.
if I'm going to be the person for, I want someone to play Harry Palm.
And he's got
That'd be my
got a
partner.
spin-off. He's got a spin-off like a group called the Wild Dogs in
Man,
comic
they got
book
real
lore.
creative with all these names.
Yeah, they
didn't
did,
It's
didn't they?
Wild Dog, Wild Pup. My group's called the Wild Dogs.
I
This
still-
is a real DC comic, right?
It is, yes.
Yes. I'm still blown away that the fact that Claire, his love of a semester.
family name, Jay.
I know. See?
It's a fat girl name.
I'm not fat.
I'm not
Wait,
fat. Well, you're
yeah,
not now,
not
but I
now.
can tell you're pushing maximum density. What is happening?
It's from Breakfast Club. Anyway, the thing that gets me about Claire is after one loving semester at Scott Community College night school, he loves her so much that she leaves all her money to him, and that's how he decides that he's going to turn into Wild Dog because he doesn't know what to do with the
Are
money.
you giving spoilers for the Wild Dog movie?
Well,
he just killed Claire.
I mean, that happens in the first, 10 minutes of that movie, you think?
Well, I don't know.
She's basically Batman's parents.
I'm
Yeah.
worried about our guy Jack Wheeler here because in the end, Quad City's not about quitting, but he quits his college because he gets hurt. He leaves his
Yeah.
scholarship, and then he quits the Marines because his entire squadron gets. Yeah, I am giving spoilers, but
How do you quit? I was in the Marines. You just can't quit.
Yeah, I don't think that you just turn in your time card.
I just said,
I'm
I'm
done today.
Dude. Gotta go, guys. I'm
Yeah.
done with this.
he enlisted, and then after that, he's like, "I listen. I didn't realize my entire squad was going to get blown up by a terrorist bomb. I'm out."
Gee, Ricky, I'm really sorry your mom blew up.
Yeah.
The Marines are just like, classic Wild Dog. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can go too, Wild Pup.
Yeah. Everybody.
Marvin, you're so wild, pup.
All right, let's take a quick break and come back and we'll talk about who we thought the winners and losers of the draft was.
All right. Do you want the latest in TV and security technology but don't know where to start? Call Done Right TV and Security Solutions, your Dish Premier local retailer, and get started today. They'll take the guesswork out of choosing the latest in smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader of technology for years, and the Hopper Smart HD DVR interacts with your smart speaker to change channels, pause, and fast forward just the sound of your voice. When you sign up today, you're going to receive a Nest doorbell system free, courtesy of Done Right. So you need to call 866-84-RIGHT today and let Done Right provide local, professional installation that's trusted by thousands of businesses and homeowners in the Quad Cities. Restrictions do apply, and you do require an internet-connected Hopper. That's Done Right TV and Security, 866-84-RIGHT.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Catch every swing, double play, and home run at the Quad Cities Home for Sports. Fricks Tap and Davenport. Don't miss a single inning on their 23 TVs. Enjoy the best daily food and drink specials in town. Throwback $2 domestic tall boys, $3 cooler shots, $4 burger baskets, and raffles during every live Cubs broadcast. Fricks is your place to be for every game. Come for the game and stay for the fun with live music, DJs, and karaoke. Fricks Tap. Good people and good beer. Served properly. West 3rd Street, Davenport.
From the first pitch to the last out, you'll hear every inning of Chicago Cubs baseball on ESPN 93.5.
He's at the warning track. It's at the wall. So long.
Presented by Fricks Tap, Glens Creek Golf Course, G&G Retailers, Augustana College Athletic Department, Sexton Ford, American Family Insurance, Adam Rattler Agency.
Game over. Cubs win.
The Chicago Cubs are on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5. All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. They work, live, and give back to the Quad Cities.
I'm Chantal from Davenport, and I just won a free roof from All Major Restorations.
If you missed their last free roof giveaway, another one is coming soon. And when storm damage hits, let All Major Restorations help you. They make the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Storm damage estimates are always free. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities. Go to amrestorations.com. SportsRestorations.com.
Your garage is cluttered. Instead of a place to park your car, you've got sports equipment, lawn tools, half-finished projects, and a workbench that hasn't been touched in years. Tailored Living of the Quad Cities can take your garage from clutter and chaos to functional and fun. Whether you want a killer man cave or just to get clean and organized with an epoxy floor and custom garage cabinets, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com and you and I will design the garage of your dreams.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the ninth. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $200 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher and compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Limited time offer. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
Cubs and Bears and local talk. You found it. Your home of the only local sports talk show in the Quad Cities. Don't hassle us. We're local. Noon to 2 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
And you're listening to Don't Hassle So Local here on ESPN 93.5 in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. We have Merrick Brave from SCW Pro and the best soundbite man in the business, Jay Foster.
Is this your new job? Did you start this today?
Yeah,
Something happened
until we
with
get
the,
the bumpers going.
the bumpers.
Once when that entire thing got zapped, the bumpers just went to
a lot of things going on.
So I just started to do the Family Ties theme song then.
I just thought maybe, you wanted to continue singing since you did such a good job on Friday.
No.
You were singing Friday, Jay?
I sang something before we went to
sang a
commercial
couple
break.
words.
Yeah,
What did you sing?
Nothing, buddy, nothing. What did you take, guys?
Were the people not supposed to hear him?
No, I was supposed to say something nice. I had a Freudian slip. All right.
It was the best.
Yeah. So anyway, what do you guys takeaways from the draft this weekend? Who'd you like? Whose picks did you like? Whose didn't you like?
Okay. Maybe do like top 3, bottom 3, something like that.
Yeah.
Sure. Thinking maybe.
Yeah, I can do that.
T-Roy, I liked your Cowboys.
Thank you. I actually did too.
Thank you.
Especially, not having a first round pick, but I mean that's essentially Amari Cooper, right? De facto first round pick.
Correct.
And he did pretty good for you guys. Much
He
better than
certainly
he
helped us
was
turn
doing with the
season
Raiders.
around, and they won the division in mid-playoffs.
I think Tristan Hill's going to be a good player. I think he can be coached up. His big knock on him was not always consistently a high motor guy. Takes some plays off, but you know what? Now he's in the NFL. Now he's with the big boys. He's got a good defensive line coach. It's going to help him out.
I like Marinelli a lot.
So I think he has the tools to become a great player. I think Connor McGovern in the 3rd round is a steal. That kid's nasty. He will mess you up. And again, Cowboys kind of know what to do with their offensive linemen, so they should be able to cultivate his talents. And then Michael Jackson and Joe Jackson. I'll leave the jokes to everybody else.
I was taking them already. It was great.
Couple University of Miami picks there, 5th round. Solid value on those guys. Cowboys really had a good draft.
Yeah. I have to say for me, the Raiders, guys, you have that many picks and you get what they got talent-wise. I mean, it's up to them now to coach them and play, but those are good picks, Jay. So I'd say the Raiders did really well in this draft. They were one of my top winners.
I think everyone's kind of in agreement that Cleveland Farrell's a little bit of a reach at 4, but after you get past that pick, they really did have a pretty solid draft. So I know people like to make them the butt of jokes since Thursday night, but after that, pretty solid draft from the Raiders. I think I'm in agreement there. Another team with a really good draft, and I hate to say it, those gosh darn New England Patriots had a pretty dang good draft. I'm not a big N'Keal Harry guy.
No.
At the end of the first there. But all of their day 2 picks can be immediate contributors. Joe Wan, which is literally spelled Joe Jawan, but I think they're just breaking it down into two different first names, Joe and then Juan, Juan. So Joe Juan Williams, big cornerback, tall dude, really rangy, going to be a solid player. Then you have Chase Winovich from Michigan, defensive end, and they got him in the 3rd round, I believe, which is a really good pick. A lot of people had him maybe going at the end of the 1st round. Get a running back from Alabama, Damian Harris, who is just a bulldozer, knock you over kind of guy. And then Yadni Kajusti, or whatever, I don't know how to say that name, offensive tackle, West Virginia, I believe, also could be an immediate contributor, has some things he needs to clean up, but they got great value for all of those guys. And if I'm saying the Patriots did well, then you got to know that they did well, because I hate those guys.
Yeah.
Another team I had out there did well. I thought the Denver Broncos.
They did.
Noah Fant at 20 was a great pick.
They got the quarterback.
And then that back-to-back in the 2nd round, they took Dalton Reisner, an offensive tackle from Kansas State, so someone to help protect the quarterback, and then Drew Lock right after that.
The only question about Dalton Reisner is how much did he really have to block in the Big 12, considering they don't play defense. But he was highly regarded coming out of the combine.
They pass block a lot in the Big 12.
Yeah, well, they don't play
All right.
defense.
He does look like a mean, nasty.
Arizona Cardinals had a good
hog
draft as
molly.
well.
Yeah,
They
Yep,
did.
they did.
I mean, getting
Despite-
Greedy Williams in there and Hakeem Butler, they have, one more year Larry Fitzgerald, and they've got a nice receiving core.
Despite the fact that some people say they bungled that Josh Rosen trade, at least they got something for him, and they still got their guy number 1 overall. So
Yeah, no, the whole thing is, does Tyler Murray work with Cliff Kingsbury? It's all or nothing for the Cardinals, right? Like, either it's a great draft or a terrible draft. We'll find out in about 3 years.
yeah, exactly.
On the losing side, gentlemen.
I mean, clearly Giants, right?
I think so.
That's a pretty easy one to call. Daniel Jones at 6 is a reach. Dexter Lawrence at 17 is a reach. Basically Dexter Lawrence is who you got for trading away Odell Beckham. Rotational nose tackle who's probably only going to play at best maybe 45% of your snaps. Not really getting great value at pick 17 there. And then they traded a 2nd rounder, a 4th rounder, and a 5th rounder to move back into the 1st round for a cornerback that a lot of people didn't even have him as the number 1 corner on the board. And then when you look at the first half of the 2nd round, that's when the cornerbacks started going off the board, and they probably could have just taken him there and saved all of those assets.
Team, I don't know if it was the worst, but I thought they had a really good start to the 1st round. They had 2 picks in the 1st round, and I'm talking about the Packers. I liked the Rashawn Gary pick at 12. And then they just turn around and they reached for Darnell Savage. They traded up to get that pick.
Mm-hmm. And Rashawn Gary could end up being a good player, but he has medical concerns right now, and it might not contribute for, at the very least, the first half of his rookie year. And if he doesn't catch up on scheme and whatnot, may not be a contributor for all of his rookie year. And right now, you need players who are going to contribute right now with Aaron Rodgers getting up there in age. Your window, I'm not going to say it's closing, but it's not as wide open as Packers fans would want you to believe.
Well, and the deal is he needed help. Aaron Rodgers needed help. These guys aren't really giving him help when he has the ball. The Bears are bringing heat at you. Heat.
Yeah.
The Vikings still have a good defense that's going to bring stuff at you. You have to think that the Lions are improved. I don't think the Lions had a bad draft. Mm-hmm. To me, the Packers could, one little injury away, and they'll be in last place in that division easy.
I'll tell you a team that I don't know how bad their draft was, but had a bad draft weekend, Kansas City Chiefs. And I heard you guys talking about it a little bit on my way in, but that Tyreek Hill situation is
disgusting.
Ooh, that's messy. That's real messy for them. And
if that's true, that's disgusting. I should say that if it's all true.
They got that audio, and he pretty much admits to it there.
Especially coming off Kareem Hunt. It's just a nightmare scenario.
How do you go from, you feel, obviously, first and foremost, you feel bad for the victims in both situations, but I feel bad for Chiefs fans as well. You have a young quarterback on a rookie deal who's an absolute superstar. You have him surrounded with superstars at running back, wide receiver, and tight end, and then,
bam.
A few months later, Hunt's gone, Yeah. Hill's most likely gone.
Yeah.
And now you're scrambling to replace him. And they reached on that speedy wide receiver, Mecole Hardman. He's fast. He's real fast. Second fastest 40 time. But, if Tyreek Hill, if this whole situation doesn't happen, they don't have to reach there, and they can fill a more pressing need, maybe cornerback, maybe get a young pass rusher. I know they traded for Frank Clark, but you kind of need those guys on those cheap deals if you're going to be paying out $65 million guaranteed to Frank Clark. But man, what a messy situation for the Kansas City Chiefs and their fans.
Didn't really care for the Houston Texans' first and second round picks as well. I didn't care for Titus Howard out of Alabama State. Originally went there to play quarterback, beefed up in offensive line, so I don't know how much that's going to translate. First round pick going from Alabama State to the NFL to protect Deshaun Watson. I got a real quick question for you, Merrick. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
That's fine. That makes it all the more easier. We've got about 5 minutes. If you watch Game of Thrones and you missed last night's episode, go ahead and turn the dial. It's one of the few times I'm going to tell you. Nick.
Yes, sir.
Game of Thrones recap. Quick.
Whew.
I need to watch this episode again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really liked it.
Okay, so I feel like the one place people might not have liked about it,
Hit me.
There are two things, right? Either like the longtime book readers and the longtime like people who have been watching it since day one, they might have thought that more bad things should have happened to main characters. I'm trying to be like little spoiler as I can.
Yes, that's fine.
Like more important people could have died in this episode.
Let me tell you something. If people didn't watch it and they don't want to hear spoilers, then they're not really that big of fans. They watched it last night. This is the biggest fight scene in television in movie history, the longest ever. So if you didn't have time to watch it, so be it. Change the dial. Anyway, but yes, I think more people should have died.
I do too. But
you can't fight off
but
that
at the same
many.
time, I'm not complaining that more people didn't, because now at least you got like 3 more episodes, and a lot of them will still die, Jay. We got time for that.
How many dragons are still alive?
Oh, my Lord. Great question, T-Roy.
2 more dragons.
I cannot even count. I don't know who's fighting who. The dragons. I don't know who's a
There's
good
one
dragon, who's
dragon
a
that
bad
turned
dragon.
into an icy dragon, right?
Yes.
He's done.
He's done.
The ice dragon died?
He's dead.
Well, yeah, and then another one got stabbed 1 billion times by these zombies. So I don't know if he's going. He did?
Yeah, both
How
the
do you
dragons
know?
made it out.
I didn't see him come back.
They're in a shot at the end. Like all the forensic work's been done, Jay. We know who lived and who died. Like,
I watched it. I don't remember seeing too
the
much.
ice dragon. Yes.
The ice dragon went down.
The ice people are going down, Jay. I'm telling you right now, you can't have ice people running this world.
Yeah.
Well, T-Roy obviously did not see the episode.
No, he did not.
All the ice people are done.
The MVP of this episode is Arya.
Yes.
And it was
So
BA.
they've saved the world. They've stopped the ice people.
Yes, they've won the big war.
All right. Does Jon Snow know that he's making out with his aunt?
He does
Yes.
now.
And
Yeah.
she
Is he
knows.
still doing it?
No, they haven't since
Well, it
then.
was kind of on ice for an episode.
It was hot and heavy for a while, and then it's got a little cold in the bedroom, if you say.
Does he have performance issues?
No.
I think we have an advertiser for that.
He just doesn't want to do. He just doesn't want to get busy with his aunt yet anymore. But Arya is the MVP
Is she an
of this.
aunt by blood or marriage?
Blood.
Oh, that's totally different, right, Marv?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, by blood, yeah. So, Arya is easily, I mean, this was
It was very satisfying to see a couple different character arcs get completed, right? Like Theon Greyjoy was great. Like Jorah Mormont.
Yeah, that's a sad one. but-
Leanne Mormont, Lady Mormont.
Hey, there was a guy from last week I saw. He's a really big guy, and he likes the really big lady. Did they both live?
Tormont made it. Brianna Tarth made it. Jaime Lannister made it. So like you still got some action. The Hound made it.
The Hound made it. Tyrion made it. Sansa made it.
Bronn is still looming.
Oh my gosh, this Bronn guy.
Who's Bronn?
If someone can tell me the point of Bronn, I'd be really happy.
He's the best. He's just.
How is he the best? He just sits in a wheelchair. He's like, I'm
No,
going to
that's
go for
Bran.
a while. Oh, Bran, sorry.
Who's
Who's Bronn besides Braun Strowman? Who's Bronn?
Bronn is the sellsword that Tyrion hires early. He just got offered money from Cersei.
Oh, yeah.
To
I'm
kill
back.
both
Yeah,
the Lannister
yeah.
brothers. Right,
I'm with you. Okay.
So he didn't show up at all. He'll be showing up.
Yeah, that'll be in the Nether War with that other greasy pirate.
And we'll find
who's
out
gonna
if
die
he
a big,
betrays
dirty
them or
death.
not.
That guy's a dirtball.
Euron Greyjoy, yeah.
That
he gotta
pirate.
go. Yeah.
He's a dirtball.
So did Dark Phoenix? Is she still alive?
She's still doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know where her head's at either.
Like not a lot of like the main.
Well, she's going after Professor X, man. She's got all that stuff going on.
She's busy. She's got a lot going on
this summer.
No, it was a. It was
an hour and a half. It was chaos. It was madness. Like when all the Dothraki just got wiped out in 30 seconds at the
Great
very
scene.
beginning.
That was a great scene.
Like it was a really good. It was also very confusing for about an hour.
So
we were just like, I don't know what's happening.
So King of the Ice people, he's wiped and they're all wiped.
All the White Walkers, all the whites
White
are all
Walkers.
dead.
How do you kill a white? How do you kill them all that
You
fast?
have to kill the Night King.
Valerian steel.
And that's
Did I
the
say
stuff-
that right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that the stuff that JT Snow was digging
I just
out
think
from
I think we've misused the dragons a little bit.
There wasn't much you could do though.
Well, when they get the Red Witch to light the entire moat on fire and they're at a standstill for a while, just staring at each other, that's a good time to bring the dragons
They got a
into.
moat?
Well, yeah, a moat of fire.
Well, the whole thing was they needed to lure the Night King
fell
out,
into
so
a
they didn't want to
burning
bring the
moat of
dragons out too
fire.
soon because they needed to bring the Night King in.
Yeah, but he was always going for Bran.
Right,
Braun.
No, there's
Not
two.
Bran. Not
One's
Bran.
in a wheelchair. He got pushed out of
I'm confused.
episode 1. He got pushed out of a windowsill by Jaime Lannister.
He lived.
Yes, you know all
He was
this.
in a wheelchair.
Yes, you
And
know
now
all
he's
this.
and he got thrown
He's
out
the
a window.
three-eyed raven. Duh.
Duh. Remember, T-Roy literally started watching the show in season 7.
Yeah, and with my cliff notes.
Jay was just like, he would be like, hey, what happened? Why is this way? And Jay would be like, oh, because the one guy got a haircut.
Yeah.
And that would be
Makes
like the
sense.
explanation.
Yeah.
Like,
It's going to get better.
I
It was
did
a good
learn
episode,
Game
but
of
I do
Thrones
think
through
I'm going to have
Jay's
to.
Cliff
I do
Notes.
think I'm going to have to watch this again, and it's a long episode.
Yeah.
It was dark, and I can't figure out which dragon to cheer for.
So the moral of the story is don't sleep with your aunt.
There you go. That's a good, and that's a good way to end. That's a good way to end our Monday show.
Always solid advice.
Thank you guys for
Okay.
listening today. Thanks for Merrick Brave coming in. Thanks to Matt Randazzo. We'll see you on Monday. Have a hassle-free Monday.
The problem that if you do that, the Raptors are one of the best